turn it all out, told me every secret. Said that I care, asked do you mean it? It's been months since we've been okay. I'm putting off what's coming. Another night staring at the ceiling. You deserve to be alone, to be the one they're always thinking of. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you. Admit that I ignored it. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be alone. Struggling 'cause I'm all you have. You should know that's all in your head. 'Cause it's been weeks and you're not okay. You're putting off what's coming. It's alright to be scared of being lonely. Don't you know that you deserve to be alone, to be the one they're always thinking of? And I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you. Admit that I ignored it. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be. Tell me, is it clear that I still wanna be? I see you denying, but I know that I made it clear. I want you to know that I'll be close through the darkest when the sky is getting bright. I'll hold you and never let you go. When you're falling, I'll be closer. You deserve to be. 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 You deserve to be
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Hope y'all having a wonderful, beautiful day. I'm a little embarrassed with that little blip of music. Just kind of messing around with my audio mid-transition. Man, scuffed it up. How y'all doing? Welcome back, boys. I hope you're having a good one. We got more 5V5 1V1 Duels, this time on the region of NA. Yesterday on EU, we actually got in general, recently, we've had a lot of duels, and it's a lot of footage to go through, and some of them are really, really long, but I've been having such a good time with it either way, though. Excited for today? Yo, we'll get some groups up and running in just a second here, yeah? Let me get the music back up and running. It's gonna be loud, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Yo, I'm really good at this, huh? Set it up ahead of time. I haven't had coffee today. I slept in. I had a really, really, really tough night last night, man. So I woke up yesterday super early. So by the time the clock hit 9 p.m., I am struggling, dude. And it's such a weird struggle. I'm feeling the same way, like absolutely drained, just brain not processing things. Mind just absolutely wavy. And it's only 9, but it's as bad as if I pull an all-nighter and it's like I haven't slept and it's 12 in the morning or 12 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? It's that bad, bro. I was just like dying out there. I guess that's what happens when you wake up super early. I don't know what it is, man. I'm either sleeping in or I'm waking up super early. Like I got like, my body only knows 2. Like I can't do like an 8-hour sleep at all. I'm either doing like what, an 11 or like a 5, 4. Like my body just doesn't know what to do with it anymore, man. I think I'm messed up IRL, like actually at the core. Chat, we got us some more 5V5 1V1 Duels tonight. I got no coffee in me, man, so this is just my energy. Excited for duels itself, so I'm excited. Yo, what's up, Forsaken Wolf? How you doing, man? I'm here with my guy Pager, Kin Boy. How y'all doing? Jake, how you doing, my man? Crypts, and how you doing? Jake, tell me you're gonna be giving Baldur's Gate a try at some point, man. I think you would love the game, dude. I have friends that I can talk to about the game, but I'm also like, I know they're playing, so I'm trying not to be spoilerer. But I feel like if you were to play, me and you would have a lot to talk to because I know what's spoiler, what isn't a spoiler, and I'd love to see your progress, dude. But yo, let's get some NA duels up and running tonight, boys. Groups are going to be listed as normal over in the Raids Legacy. We have a pin in the chat how to do it, but I'll tell you guys exactly, I'll show you exactly how to join either way, though. Are the lights a little bright? I feel like lights are a little bright, but it's okay. We're just gonna run with it. I'm looking like Casper anyway. Like, even if I just tone them down a little bit, I could adjust the lights to give me a little bit more of like, less of like just a white color, but more like a tannish color. But I feel like that'll scuff with the green screen behind me. I'll need to mess around with it, man, because maybe I can give myself a little bit less of like a Casper look, less of like a I just saw a ghost, or rather just looked in the mirror kind of look. Let's get these groups up and running, boys. Yeah, if y'all want to help me get some groups up and running, LFG is where you put it. If you've done it before, I would appreciate you. Why are there bodies? Are we safe? Oh god, there's actually a lot of bodies. There's a horde bodies. More horde bodies. Yo, N-Stick, can you tell me if it's safe out here, bro? Am I gonna get like ganked? I'm observing, scouting, searching. A boar? No, I think we're chilling for now, at least. Maybe I should hang out with these guys or something. I feel like if I just, like, nobody's out in the middle. It's actually kind of like barren, but that's because there's bodies out here, dude. I don't know what to stand at. I feel like I'm more comfortable hanging around with these guys. Maybe they'll end up helping out, you know what I mean? Let's see if I can get some groups up and running right now. We gotta go into that molten core 5V1 Duels. Throw that up. Beautiful. There we are. Hey, let's go, boys. Hey Dal, what's up, Pedro? Hope you're having a wonderful evening, my guy. Hope you're doing good. I haven't tweeted about the duels in a long while, man. Yo, Diviner, my man, divine name. I can't do your name at all. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. Diviner? Is that what it's supposed to be? Tell me, please correct me if you can. Can we get a hashtag diviner? That's the best I could do. Hashtag dev in the chat, showing appreciation for a wonderful, beautiful membership, my man. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate ya. Chat, groups are listed right now in LFG or Raids Legacy. If y'all want to join in, you're more than welcome to it. What is that? Is that like an orb? Or just like fell? I kind of like this dude's like fell look, by the way. He got soul shards and everything. What is that orb though? Is that a Mog? No, it's got to be a toy or something, right? It is the demonic... No, it's not demonic circle. Is it soulstone? Is this soulstone glyph? You actually have like a glyph with like your soul trapped in the orb? Is that what it's supposed to be? I'm not even sure. That's the first time I'm seeing something like that, dude. That's gotta be new. Can't see your game yet? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm dumb. There it is. I was gonna say for a second. I was waiting for the alert and it's just like nothing. Never mind. Yeah, so this is what is it? The outside of door chart is kind of bare. There's a bunch of dead bodies over here. That's what this guy has. Let me show you. The orb, this green one. I was trying to figure out what it was, and he's got this whole fell look. He got a green staff, soul shards above his head, name being green actually kind of sort of fits, but then there was also this orb. I was trying to figure out what that is, but I'm gonna guess that is the soul shard, yeah? What's up, Tito? How you doing, my man? Hope you having a good one. Groups are listed, boys. Raids Legacy in the Raids Legacy. If you type in number 5 in the search, you'll be good to go. It's me, Kim Boy. Can you add me? Can I add you? Is it gonna let me add you? Okay, let me try to see if I can add you on Real ID. That'll make things a little bit easier, I guess. Yeah. Let me see if I can get you in. Let's get it. I got caught off guard by Remnant last night in the best way possible. I've done the whole game blind, and I ran into a room with a bow on the wall that you could pick up, and my brain exploded. Really? Wait, is it just like one of those things where the weapon is insane, or is it just like you've been by that room, you just never knew you could pick it up before? Because I feel like that's what I'm getting in Baldur's Gate. There's so many things that I'm doing now. I'm just doing like a second run through on another character on a harder difficulty too, just to see like, how is it going to feel different? How is it going to play different? And I'm also playing this Dark Urge storyline. So it's like a character you can make yourself. You know, the origin character is like, you just start as a character in Baldur's Gate and you can kind of adjust what your story is like yourself a little bit. But for the most part, you're just like a clean slate and you can really decide where it goes. Then there's a character called Dark Urge. It is a character you can customize fully, but you basically have these urges that are sinister. I don't want to spoil it, but it's basically you don't remember who you are, and you just got infected by tadpole with the lithits. That's the start for everybody. Basically think of like a little tadpole that's gonna turn into tentacle Cthulhu-looking monster, Nazoth at a later down line, right? Basically a human with a squid head. But you also have urges, sometimes violent urges, out of nowhere, and you're trying to figure out why, and that makes some of your interactions completely different. Like I feel like I should spoil it, dude. I'm not gonna say much. I'm not gonna say more. We got ourselves with diabolical. Wait, diabolical and diabolicals? What is this? Oh, you're just swapping. Okay, I was gonna say for a second, you're coming on your alt. I like the alt too. What's the difference between your main and your alt? Is it the gear? Is it the because I imagine the gear for the most part is the same, unless it's like a different build you got going on that thing. Looks good either way though. Or maybe the human racial, probably that's why. I love using bows and shooting games, main reason I like Destiny for so long. So get it to use a bow that's one-shotting mobs and dealing insane damage to big poggers, that's awesome, man. I heard a lot of good stuff about that game. TM Demoniac, my man, how you doing? So we gotta get us a second group. We got us just one raid to go. I'm gonna make Demoniac lead just because I have Boris added already. Let me let him know real quick. Actually, I have just like what at least 4 people in this group added. Hopefully I have diabolicals added. Okay, this group is set. Gonna get second one up and running. Hang tight, team. Are we gonna see Chicago tonight, or Night King, or Smubboy CY, dude? I would love it. Errorless, where you at, man? Where's Speed, dude? I've been enjoying watching Speed play as well, because him, as well as Errorless, are a little different when it comes to their own gameplay, but they're both very, very imaginative with the stuff they do, which I really, really like. We're gonna make Demoniac lead here, though. Double Rogue, dude. Are we gonna see some assassination tonight? By the way, Rogue's getting buffed up. Assassin's getting a 5% buff all across the board. That's gonna be actually pretty good. It's gonna make him, I think, one of the better single target specs in raids. And that's going to translate kind of pretty good in PvP, just because in PvP you don't really use trinkets and bonus effects in order to deal majority of your damage. So that's a 5% buff for abilities and autos. So whoever you're focusing on, that's actually going to feel kind of sizable. Normally, like a 5% ability buff results in like a close to 3% overall buff, because it doesn't count your autos. But the fact that it counts your autos, it feels like a proper 5, and that 2 extra percent, that 2 extra percent is big. Played with a single Sin Rogue last night, did like 160 DPS in freehold. Okay, well, I don't know if a Sin Rogue is going to be able to do a lot in a freehold. In dungeons, I mean, that's not terrible damage. But in dungeons, that's definitely not where Assassin's going to shine. If you want to take a look at their boss damage, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, my second start, found somebody's secret rooms, how fast it is. It's insane. Oh my god, yeah. You also played the same game too? You played, what is it? The, Remnant? Man, I need more people. D Vayner, Dev, it's cool. You're the best. Yeah, thanks so much. I'm calling you D Vayner. I'm gonna try my very, very best, Vayner. Vayner, I can do that. D Vayner. Oh, that actually makes sense. The word vein. I just gotta think of the vein. So now D Vayner. I feel like this is the best way to describe the Dark Urge gameplay. That's about it. That's all I'm gonna say. Perfect. Hell yeah. I try, dude. I'm so bad with names, but I'm gonna give it the best shot. If I can't, I am gonna profusely apologize and give you a nickname, but only because it's out of love, just to make it easier for me and easier for you, and just so I don't stumble all the time. Oh my god, you got a rogue character with 21 plus stealth? You can literally stand you can literally do some Skyrim kind of stealth, dude. Literally, just stand in front of a guy that you're fighting, literally crouch in front of him. You're invisible in his eyes. Oh my god. Oh, and hit the bell. Thanks for the reminder. Awesome. Yeah, definitely hit the bell. What is the Nightbot? What's the Nightbot doing stuff? Hello, Dal. What's up, Shane? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one. Which one? The one that interrupts or the one with the BG3? Oh, let's talk about BG3. Name Conan, Human Barbarian. Let's go, dude. You play that too? Hell yeah. So I'm doing a Dark Urge playthrough, but my first one was a Rogue, a little bit of Fighter to pick up a second hit. My god, it's so good. Especially if you got explosive arrows and you got double hand crossbows. Oh my god, your openers are incredible. Especially if you're using that speed potion so you can get extra action, and you're using double hits, right, the entire time, double attacking, and on top of it, and you can add paralytic poison on top of it and replace those explosive arrows with arrows that shoot multiple targets. It's strong. It is so good. Oh my god. There's some real cool things you can do with it, man. It's a lot of resources, and you really gotta save all of those arrows. You really gotta collect them because you can expend them really quickly, man. It's Rambo kind of stuff. It is insane. Started the streams rocking, dude. The evolution from Pearl Jam. It's a song video. True. I like you referencing the video while also not really talking about the game either. I like that little nod. Do the evolution. I decided to go a clean Tiefling Rogue, and I decided, besides adjusting some fighter and warrior abilities, not really changing myself. Is Kevin backing out of the other group into this one? Is that what happened? Or did they pick up +1? Hold on a second, Kevin, because I'm trying to just make a second group. How's the other group doing? Hold on, Boris, can you whisper me real quickly? How many you got in your group? Because if Boris picked up a couple of boys, then maybe I guess I could take Kevin. That'd be fine. I thought the other group was 5 said. I thought Kevin was part of it, but I guess I'm wrong. Let me see what else I can get in here, by the way. Who else can I invite? Valera? Yo, I'm okay with this. 5? I'm perfectly cool with that then. So this group that needs 2 more, and we're good to go, boys. I want to see if Boom wants to join in. Hey, Boom. Hey, Boom. Doing some duels tonight. Want to join? Hey, Chicago. Hey, Chicago. Doing some duels. Need 2 more. Want to join? Because I've been loving watching Chicago play. And Chicago better have some fun before they end up nerfing the spec ban. They're not really nerfing it, but they are also kind of nerfing it. They're changing it so that the Ascendant's proc ability, you know, where you do lightning to everybody around you with a big puff of lightning, and the wind strikes, all that is getting brought down. But storm strike damage is going up, and ice strike damage is going up by 45%. So maybe like an elemental version of enhancement, like an L enhancement would be pretty good. I'm right now doing a little bit, dude. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All good, my guy. So we need a +1 and we'll be good to go. Is my man Seavark on? Seavark ain't on. Cloakus EU. SB. SB. I almost forgot who SB was for a sec. I was just like SB. I was like thinking duels. But he doesn't join duels. That's the guy that does the keys with me. That's my paladin homie, or healer homie usually. But he's played like Evoker and stuff before. But I normally know SP is a pally. Prop pally too. Let's see, who else could I invite? Kargath? Is Kargath in? Hold on a second. Hey Kargath. Hey Kargath. Want in for a few duels, friend? Need +1 and we got 2 groups. Ready. What about Night King? Hold on, where's my boy at? Night King! Hold on a second. Wait, Chilled. Hold on. Hey, Chilled. Duels? Night? Maybe I should also tell him, no C-work this evening. You don't gotta worry about no mages. Oh my god. I can't decide between Resto or Ellie Shaman or Rogue LMAO. Rogues are pretty decent, but I think Shamans are a lot of fun. I would, as a Rogue main, I think you would have a lot of fun with Shaman. Elemental is not meta, and once you play it in like keys, you'll figure out why it's not meta, but it's so fun and so enjoyable. It's pretty mobile too compared to some casters out there. It's fairly tanky. You got a lot of utility. I'm a fan of it, man. Resto is also not bad either. It's actually got pretty good damage and like fantastic healing. I've been always a fan of the mastery. Like whenever somebody's low, your healing just gets better. So like being able to rescue somebody from like super low health in a couple of casts, so easy. But it's almost like it makes you want to like let your allies health drop low just so you get more value for each heal. But you can do like a big heal and basically lay in hand somebody for like almost no mana spend in comparison, and do it pretty often too if you can time it. But I like it because of the damage it does too. Like utility as well is great. Like the totems are absolutely fantastic. So he has both Chilled and has both Kargath. I didn't get a response back, so maybe we can get Obliteration potentially. Does he want to join? Hey Oblit, want to join some? Okay, he's just logged off immediately. Have a group up already? What the? We need +1, but okay. +1, and we got 2 groups going. Unless you with Boris something. Hold on, Night King is trying to put another group together. Hold on, are we gonna have 3 groups? I mean, I'm fine with it. We just need 1 more for this one and we're set. Battle Gilneas. Okay, so maybe we can do Trickster if he's out of that one early enough. I don't know how long it's gonna be. What about Speed? What's his real ID again? Because I think his character name is Speed, but I don't think his real ID's name is Speed. I think it's something else. I'm trying to look here. When you don't know Mazda, will be good to go. WoW will be free to play. I don't think WoW will be free to play, Chris, unless they announce something and I might have missed it. I don't think so. Do you have like a post you're referencing when you say that, or is it just like, hey, out of the blue question, but is WoW ever going to be free? If it's a question of like, is it ever going to be free? Probably not. Scared of me? I mean, I ain't scared of you. Let's get you in here, my guy. Yeah, let's get you in, bud. Hey, how you doing, my man? Hey. Okay, 2 groups ready. Okay, 2 groups are ready. Gonna queue you up in a second. Hang tight. Yo, we got some homies in here, man, and we got some new bodies too. Let's go. All right, so we're set. Me and Boris, I think we should be good to go. Yeah. Chicago, ready to lead. A back out. Spectator match. Boris and Chicago 5 Legrand. First one of the night, boys. Let's go. I got a button to +34 civilization today. What's fun to play this spec and prefer? As dev? Crazy. I mean, I think it doesn't really make a difference what spec you play. I've heard up until like 25. Once above 25, that's where it's like specs. My boy Reverence joining in. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Hey. Oh my god. I'm a fan of Reverence, man. This guy likes to play Destrum different compared to all the other warlocks I've seen. Usually, if he ever wants to just play like same old, I'm perfectly cool with it. You can play whatever you like. I'm just excited to see you again, my guy. Hope you have a good one. Alrighty, boys, we got ourselves groups up and running for the night. Let me make sure to blast this into my eardrums a little louder than normal. I never catch one of these. Love these videos. What's up, Bobbies? Hope you enjoy these, man. These are a ton of fun to do live. They are, depending on the match you have, some of them are going to be longer, some of them are going to be shorter, but a lot of them are usually generally pretty fun. Switch. We got one missing over in the team too, but I think they're just loading in. What's going to be Diabolical's trying to have a go, but it's always Reverence. I think they're both trying to figure out who's going to be first, who's going to be last, but it looks like Reverence is up. Diabolical's giving him the floor. We got ourselves on the back Conan as well as Rogues with Demoniac as well as Tyr. Demoniac going for Assassination while Tyr is a little bit of that subtlety of the bat. Reverence having to fight versus Makima. Shadow Blades off the top of the rib, got himself Cloak of Shadows to follow into a cheap shot that's going to be Succubus. You see, unable to help him anymore. Big Dark Pack helping keep him alive, and Makima needs to find a way to break through those defenses. Secret Technique barely does anything to the shield though. It holds on strong as Reverence barely loses in health whatsoever. I love this Cobra-esque look he's got going on, by the way. Big fan of it. Evasion up for Makima, but still get a hit. You want to make sure you're facing the Succubus at all times if you are going to pop in that evasion. If the Succubus is sitting behind you, you're not actually dodging, you're not actually removing the slow that it provides. You're kind of putting yourself in a bad situation, but Makima just needs a moment, just waiting for some cooldowns to come back. Burned quite a lot there with advantage. Cloak of Shadows as well as the Nation has a blind, and it looks like playing for just a singular charge of Shadow Dance actually, so maybe that's why they're hanging back. Vanish to follow, should be able to have a go. Cheap shot onto Reverence, try to see if he can make himself a setup. Gonna be getting shot, but a Succubus, he immediately hits him with a trick and force out Makima, trying to keep the pressure rolling onto Reverence, but he's gonna back up out of there as soon as humanly possible. Trying to see if he can go for that Secret Technique. It narrowly hits a Mortal Coil as Makima tries to see if he could go for a step. Soulfire off with blind though to stop the Soulfire halfway through him. But Makima is still unable to get himself a proper reset unless they have himself another set of dances. They might be in a weird spot. Gouge, but that's going to be a Succubus. You see, he has himself a Kinder Shot ready to go. Bonds are felt to set up, but the Makima can't really escape this one at all. It's going to get forced out of there to break the bonds. Big damage, but it's actually put behind the pillar. Reverence probably should have let him keep walking. Shouldn't have sent him behind the pillar. Did I just gonna leave? I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what to say. I think it still should go to Reverence. Like, if you leave, that still should count towards Reverence, but I don't really know what Makima could do in that situation, and maybe that's what they decided to bow out of there. Better luck next time, fam, though. We got ourselves SC Sifo? I don't even know how to say your name. SC Fomi ANV. I read it first as Scared of Me invite, but I'm pretty sure that's not. We got us Kevin on the team as well. We got us Valera as well as Chicago. Chicago going to be next up versus Reverence charging in before enhancement gets season nerfed this week. Or this reset. Big damage by Reverence though off the bat, just instant cast hammering in Chicago, having to force a trinket. That's going to be maybe big defensive Succubus. You see before they can run away behind the pillar. Soulfire shot if you were to follow. Chicago may just have to pop a wall here. Massive cancel. Bonds are fell. Might not feel that great. Trying to pop a wall, and even through a wall, the damage is blasted right through it. There was nothing. Okay, Reverence, come on, man, come on. Come on, dude. I love you guys taking the victories and enjoying them, but man, flagging Chicago? Come on. I am very surprised actually that a wall wasn't enough. It's a 40% DR, isn't it? I guess if you talent, depending how you talent yourself, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be about a 40% DR. Big Shadow Strike or ambushes out of Valeria's. They're playing the Outlaw build instead of Subtlety. For some reason, I was expecting Subtlety Rogue. Mortal Coil immediately off of that. Fewer to follow off of that Chaos Bolt. Doesn't quite connect. Valeria is going to pop a Cloak of Shadows really early. Got himself Blade Flurry up and running, probably because they have one of the buffs that gives the Blade Flurry a bit of a bite for that single target. Trying to see if they can tussle with the Succubus. Actually could kill the Succubus fairly easily behind the pillar. Reverence may just have to summon a fresh new one. Valeria getting a lot of procs with his ambushes. Lots of pistols, lots of ambushes, plenty of damage. Has himself a lot of calm points that he can maybe get a setup for. Try to see if you can stay away from Reverence until some kind of cooldowns are available. Health funnel to follow. It's actually going to do damage to Reverence. Quite a bit of it, in fact, actually. So you don't really want to be funneling for the Succubus for too long. Succubus, you see off of it. Soulfire to follow. Doing quite a bit of damage. Blind to Reverence. Still trying to focus down the Succubus. If you can deny the Warlock a Succubus to begin with, that's going to be great. Reverence is going to have to fast someone new one. Trying to see if he can catch up to Valera. And he's going to definitely have to go for someone. Try to see if he can push the Rogue out to get him ported. But it's going to be advantage for him. Cheap shot before he can hit someone with Succubus quickly. Valera knows this is going to be a quick summon anyway. He's going to back up out of there. Is he going to end up playing it super slow? Because that is the strategy. Take down the pet of the Warlock as soon as possible before they can even like Once you kill the pet, separate the Warlock from the pet, then you can have a full go. There's no way for you to get interrupted. I think Reverence might still be able to go for a proper fear onto Valeera into a quick summon Succubus or a slow summon, and that might give him just enough time, but we'll see. Sap onto Reverence. Valeera knows it's going to be a Succubus CC as soon as he does the opener. Do you even go for a kidney shot in that case? Is going to go for a cheap shot either way. The Succubus CC no ways out of this one. Soulfire is going to do quite a bit of damage. Valeera better have an answer for this one. Try to see if he can grab behind the pillar. Takes a bit of that heat off the bat, but try to see if he can maybe pull the Succubus back behind the pillar and do some damage to it. Bonzafell having to break. It does a lot of damage to him. Not in a great spot at all. Smoke Bomb in order to give him a little bit of cover. Try to stay on top of the Succubus as best as he can, but Reverence using the Succubus to pull the rogue away from the pillar and actually might be able to get him in a good spot. Succubus CC, it's over. Unless cheat death, no. It's a Cloak of Shadows, Trinket Cloak of Shadows into a re-stealth. Interesting. This rogue doesn't want to go anywhere, but I don't really know what an Outlook can do in this situation. Reverence might just have to pick up eyes. Valeera backing up out of there, looking for a full re-heal behind the pillar. I do like the Mog, by the way. It does fit to like the whole Valeera aesthetic. Mad Infernal slamming down on the side. I feel like when Infernal slams down on a rogue, I feel like that should probably put him in combat, especially since Infernals have this like AoE fire aura, but apparently not. Reverence, did you just kill your Infernal? Is that what happened? Succubus CC onto Valeera, Soulfire to follow. If that does enough damage, this could be huge. It's gonna go for a Shadow Step, get a shot onto Reverence, finally able to lock down the Warlock for just a second, but a Mortal Call sends him away with a Chaosbolt to follow. Has himself advantage, so at least it's a quick reset, able to reroll some set of buffs and got himself the Shark buff. So potentially decent damage here. But it's going to be a port for Reverence, Sap by Valeera. Do the find. The Succubus could just get him out in the open, actually. Almost got him. It looked like Succubus targeted the rogue for just a second, but is able to evade it fairly quickly. At this point, I really don't know who's going to win this one, man. I feel like Valeera could run out the clock, wait for the cooldowns, trying to recover some health, 34% dampening. They just got to find a way to interrupt one of the CC from Reverence or find a way to deal with the Succubus. Honestly, might be a good idea to see if you can just Blade Flurry and pull the Succubus over towards Reverence, so at least you can gouge it while you can kick at Reverence or stun Reverence. Oh! Trying to see if we can get Succubus out in the open. Wait a second, Reverence throwing out a Mortal Call. Succubus could go for the CC right then and there. Could be really bad. Actually does get a dodge it. Shadow Step, which is exactly what Valeera wanted. Sees where the Succubus is. Succubus see right after into a Soulfire. Has to take the heat of the way. Stun to follow. Cancel 1, cancel 2. It's going to be Incinerate right after. Big X against Valeera. I don't really know if you got much health left. Does have a Cloak of Shadows last second. Could maybe make some kind of a play. Kid in the shot. Reverence does have himself a Dark Pack. Valeera going for a grapple hook maybe. Maybe a bit of a misclick, but Reverence does end up singeing you down. I don't really know if you need to flag these boys. I think they tried the very, very best there, but my man, Trinket out of Kevin as a fast Cancel hits him immediately to reflect for Reverence. Cancel is going to be a Hodge out of Kevin. Kevin, though, still holding on to a stun. Reverence better have an answer here. Mortal Call, which is perfect. Bubble out of Kevin. Hodge to follow. Trinket for Reverence. May need to pop a wall right now. Dumps out of a gateway, looking to escape. The Paladin might still not be out of the woods just yet. Paladin just trying to see if he can take him down. Nothing he can do at the very, very end there. Kevin had the mobility, had the immunity. There isn't much you can really set up for it. There's going to be a Stormbolt onto Kevin. Just popped a bubble. Might be in a bad situation. Conan can take advantage of this one. Going to be a fear to follow as Kevin trying to see if he can claw his way back to victory. He keeping himself alive as best as possible, but the dampening with that rogue game was going pretty high. Blessing Protection does end up saving him last second. Leap away from Conan. This is where Kevin looking for recovery, but he can't really. Oh. The gateway use on a Conan. That one, the gateway uses, I do feel a little bit weird about those. Sometimes if it's like an immobile class uses a gateway to even out a duel, kind of go with it. If a mobile class, like let's say a monk, uses a gateway to make sure that he's actually untouchable, that's a weird one. But it's one of those rules that we can't really like control in a Firefight dueling arena, so I try not to. Disarm onto Kevin. Conan tried to see if he could blast through his defenses. Kevin doesn't have much left in terms of survivability. He even doesn't have lay on hands anymore, so he's actually kind of limited. But Conan is as well. Conan, I feel like, needs to fight Kevin out in the open before Bubble comes back up. Stun may just held the Paladin, turns around unless Conan just somehow survives it. He needs the healing. He needs survivability. Got himself Reflect. Maybe shouldn't have used Reflect so early, but he's still playing very, very defensive. Stun onto Kevin. Needs a heal right now, unless Kevin may just be able to slam him. It does go for the final verdict at the end. Judging the warrior unworthy for that bout with Diabolicals, man, from one warlock into the next. These Warlocks, I feel like are gonna end up dominating the arena with. Reverence did really well. I mean, that burst in Chicago just came out of left field. Diabolical's trying to see if he can get himself a big go versus Kevin as well. The man got no mana whatsoever. Hand of Freedom, trying to see if he can hopefully break away into a Mortal Call onto Dia. This is going to be able to break out a Mortal Call fairly quickly. Stun reversal onto Kevin. That is so perfect. Dia uses the fear off of this one with a Soulfire to follow Incinerate right after. Shield of Vengeance, the last bash of defense for Kevin. Maybe he can get himself a wall at some point, but these Incinerates are just burning right into the Paladin soul with Dia able to finish him off fairly quickly. SC, I don't even know what to call you, but we call you SC. Going to be up next as a Furious Warrior. That spec is about to get buffed. Mad hit on the Diabolicals. What was that hit? What'd you just hit him with? A good portion of his health just disappeared. What are you, Houdini? What is happening? Stun onto SC. It's going to get ported out back. It has to run through all these Infernos, all these portals. Dia just tried to buy himself as much time as possible. SC with a big defensive and Rage Regen helping him do a little bit of recovery. But a Mortal Call runs him away from his target. At least has the Infernal that he can attack. Second CC has a Casbolt, hits him one. Second hit. Oh, Destra Warlocks, man. They're popping off tonight. I'm loving it. That's actually so good. Reverence, where are you? Hold on, 2? A Reverence should have 3. I feel like one of them was a rogue left, yeah? That's why it doesn't count. I feel like you should have 3. But these dancers, man, they're putting in work tonight off the bat. Loving it. Let's get us another one going, boys, yeah? Boris as well as Chicago. Let me know if you guys still got 5 people in the groups, because we're going to play these multiple times. You guys don't got to go anywhere. You don't got to leave. Let me know if you need more bodies. I do have 3. It should count as 3. It should count as 3. Remember, yes, it should count as... It doesn't count as 3, but it should, I think, count as 3. I do, yeah. Still group, awesome. Chicago, how are we doing? 5, beautiful. Let's get you guys in here. And we got Night King on the right-hand side. As soon as he's got a 5-man, or if he just wants to dip out of the 5-man and join one of the groups that's already active, that could also work. I'm perfectly fine with that. How many have we done already? 217 on an A. I was about to say, like, maybe EU is catching up to an A. I was wrong about that. Hell no. Let's do Black Rock Hole just so these casters don't have, like, all their fun, man. You know what I mean? Let's do, because otherwise it'd be Blade's Edge, and then it'll be Casters Bonanza. And these casters are already running a buck. Remember the Rogue left AFK? Yeah, that should count. I feel like that counts. I want that to count. In my hearts of hearts, in my minds of minds, I want that one to count. But yeah, I want to see what SC did earlier there with that big slam, because he hit Diabolicals for a pretty nasty hit. I don't even know what that was, but it's like 1 global. I think it was, what, an Onslaught? If there is an Onslaught, that ability is getting buffed by like 15% or something. That's getting buffed up really soon. By the way, Warlocks, yo, Reverence, Dia, your class is getting buffed. Why? We see Warlocks do so well in duels. I mean, maybe they're not doing great in arena, but they were like what dominant for a good bit at the very beginning. I know that the ladder right now is still like boomy, heavy, shadow priest heavy. Foxy, my man, yo, can we gotta have some Foxy in chat? The unique Foxy, or just rather Foxy, either way. Show appreciation for a wonderful membership, my man. Thank you so much. What badge is that at this point? 6 months? That's huge, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Is that 6 months? I don't remember my badges. I just remember the 1 year. To Twitch. We got ourselves Kevin gonna be first up versus the Bubble. Oh, versus Dia. Dia having to go for a board immediately, just trying to see if he can outrun the Paladin. Kevin isn't playing games. He's got himself Crusade, immediate Bubble. He doesn't want to give Dia an opportunity whatsoever. But now that the Bubble is gone, is he running Blessing of Protection or is he running Spell Warden? Soulfire almost connects, but not quite. Kevin able to shuffle his way behind the pillar. Still got big Crusade wings available and wants to maximize the damage. Those things are going to be able to crack through his defenses pretty easily as he got himself Shield of Vengeance, not really fearing the bonds of Fell at all. And Kevin looking very healthy, but so is Diabolicals, has been able to avoid Kevin for the most part. Second CC, even though that man is surrounded by an Infernal Stun to follow right after into Chaos Bolt 1. Spell Warden is active, so Kevin is changing up the strategy a little bit. Not going to be able to have a blessing of protection against the rogues or the warrior, but as long as he can fight through diabolicals, he will at least be able to tell his tale another day. Going to be a stun, but it's going to be a trinket out of the warlock Mortal Coil Succubus CC. The Mortal Coil Succubus combo, by the way, is actually kind of nasty, because if you Succubus CC while they're Mortal Coiled, whatever direction they're Mortal Coiled into, the Succubus just keeps them going in the direction, so it almost serves like a fear, and it's also as durable like a fear, so it doesn't immediately break to damage. So it actually can hold on for a good bit. Laying hands for Kevin, feeling refreshed. Reflector for Daya. As long as you don't stun yourself, you'll be a-okay. And Kevin just better be careful with it. Succubus, you see that early on into yet another Soulfire Incinerate to follow mad damage. Kevin is not in a good spot. Needs survivability right now. A Shield of Vengeance looks like it could be activated, unless this my UI is bugged out. But if he has Shield of Vengeance, definitely should use it. Has it for the Bonzafell, trying to see if he can walk towards Daya. Is that going to be Succubus? This is a wall as well as a dark pack for Diabolicals. Full defense, ready to go. Mortal Coil cares about one. Does Daya have enough damage? Kevin looking to recover. Yet another bolt right after into Incinerate, and it's just done. My goodness, that is so much raw damage out of this Warlock. Just got himself short CC back to back from a bolt into Incinerate into everything. With Valeria, the Owler are going to be up next. A little bit of a rematch. It gets a different Warlock this time, but it's still the same spec as a Destruction Warlock. Try to see if you can find the rogue. Going to be Bonzafell wants to break it as he tried to see if he can make his way over to Daya. Daya making sure to get far away from the portal just so they can have a place to retreat to. As the Succubus catches the rogue, could be a potential trinket here. Does get hit with a Shadow Fury, Cloak of Shadows. Valeria got himself a decent setup. Maybe could make someone work off this cloak, but it's going to be as soon as the cloak is up, Daya back it up out of there. Valeria is still holding on to Killing Spree as well as Shadow Dance. So maybe could make like a big ambush kind of combo work here with pistols. But not really looking all that good behind the pillar. How much to go for Killing Spree onto the Succubus? It looks like they are going to focus a lot of the attention on the Succubus. Maybe that's the plan still. Last duel, it was the plan to kill the Succubus, separate it from the Warlock, and then slay the second Succubus, and then kill the Warlock. I don't know if they'll be able to do it here. That's going to be massive Incinerate, instant cast, get a shot onto Daya, and vanish for the rogue before he gets hit by that Succubus Seduction. Is able to dive into stealth away from any kind of dots, and is able to avoid detection by Daya. But they're looking to pick up eyes, keeping the Succubus kind of next to them, sort of, sending the Succubus over to the rogue. If Diabolical's worry is watching where the Succubus is at, should be able to find the rogue, keeping him out of stealth, keeping him in combat, but actually kind of away from Diabolicals. Valeria, it's a perfect opportunity to actually take down Succubus very, very quickly. If you can do it fast enough. I don't know if Diabolicals will be able to summon a new one. He's trying to. Is the rogue paying attention? That's going to be a freshly Succubus, and that's a fresh new one. For Valeria, I think he's just mostly trying to buy himself time to catch himself another reset, if at all possible. 7 months have been with you, Foxy, my man. Thank you so much, my guy. Fire Mage is still good. They are pretty good. They're doing pretty good in arenas. In duels, not the most popular compared to like Arcane or even Frost, but they're good in arenas. Their incinerate damage is huge. Is Incinerate? Their mastery damage is huge. Ignite. Because I was like, Immolate, Incinerate, Ignite. It's one of those that starts on an I. But I was going through... I was almost like a list in my brain, man. Cheap shot on the Daya, as it's going to be Dark Pack Cloak or Shadows, almost back up Trinket in order to break out of the second. You see Mortal Coil setting the rogue out into the Soulfire off of that Shadow Fury. Gonna take a bit of hits, unless it can, does get himself out of the portal, trying to see if they can control where they're standing. Diabolicals trying to see if he can drop down a bunch of portals. Actually, Smoke Bomb keeping the rogue away from this portal damage. If he can just line aside those, that's actually kind of useful. Stun onto Daya, the Succubus trying to go for damage. Cloak of Shadows for the rogue, not a lot of health available. Kills to follow onto Diabolicals, but they just keep blasting him through and through. Doesn't even matter. Spore Cloak does give him a little bit of survivability. With SC gonna be up next. I gotta give you a better name, but I think we'll go with SC for now. Stun onto Daya. Big burst out of left field. Leaping right on top of the Warlock. Big bleed to follow and just slams him out of the way so you can go to the next competitor that's gonna be coded. Not even gonna give him an opportunity. It's gonna be SC get hit with the disarm immediately. but perfect opportunity for SC just to take that momentum and keep it going versus the versus Conan. As Conan walking into some full cooldowns available, SC is actually popping offensives and defensives. He's rotating everything really early on. Bleeds out by Conan. SC trying to keep himself stabilized. Big defensives and damage by Conan. This is where SC is actually going to back up out of the Conan. Has himself a leap to reconnect. If SC could maybe get away from him, he'll be fine. Trinket leaps away as well, trying to keep his distance while Conan is at his apex powerful. Gonna wait it out and maybe even get himself second win. Perfect opportunity for the Warrior to catch up, trying to avoid Conan. Fear to follow out of Conan, as it looks like SC is playing the Onslaught build by the looks of it. That does quite a bit of damage too. Conan, I wonder if he's also playing Onslaught. Is that just like a common Fury thing or not? Because there are some builds on PvE at the very least. They do play Onslaught, others don't. And I just haven't referenced the Fury in a while. Stun onto Conan. It looks like SC is actually ramping up quite a bit of damage. Conan, unless he finds some defensives, unless he finds some ability, he could fall behind here. Trying to play it super slow instead of reflect up in case there's going to be any Shadow Flame stuff. But it looks like he's in the execute range. I think SC might have just been able to overpower him. He just tried to finish him. One more global rage blow does do it. With Reverence charging out next. SC needs that recovery. He needs a second when he needs to stay away from Reverence, as the man is sending a succubus, but looks like pulled one back, giving the man as much of an honored duel as humanly possible. This is the best you can do for the competitor, is just to offer an opportunity to at least let him heal up, and now they're ready to go. Whatever cooldowns you got is all up to you at this point. This is everything you can do right here. This is your chance, your opportunity. Try to see if you can wait in order to maybe get himself that enraged regen. You may want it against the Destruction Warlock. If you can do enraged regen at a right time, especially while dampening isn't the highest yet, you might be in a good spot. Reflect up immediately. Reverence trying to go for a bit of a slow. Succubus as well as the Warlock both getting stunned up. And there goes the port immediately. SC has a choice. Leap in after the Warlock, or maybe back away with a Succubus. Does not have a way to break the Succubus. You see Mortal Call to follow. Kesbot after does not have a reflect. Might just have to use it as soon as possible. Defensive stance, and having to go full defensive. That's a lot of damage. Having to pop a big and rage regen, but doesn't have anything to heal off of. Maybe was hoping that the Succubus would swing over to his side, and you can go for a couple of bloodthirsts in there. But actually, just try to see if you can maybe wait it out. Maybe he could wait out the dots in general. Fear onto the Succubus as the Furl comes crashing down. SC is not in a good spot. Have himself a little bit of health catch up. Doing quite a bit of damage to Reverence actually. As long as the Warlock isn't using big defenses, SC actually does quite a lot of damage. Maybe a wall situation. Reverence does it, porting out of there, and SC looking to back the hell up as soon as possible. The Inferno is far away. It actually is running for a good bit. Maybe you could stun it around the corner. Got him some second win, catching back up little by little. Maybe you could use a little bit of healing off of the Infernal and at least build up a little bit of resources. Infernal does not feel great, and it's also giving Reverence resources that he needs every time that it pulses with that immolation aura. But it still could be an opportunity for SC to maybe do a bit of recovery. Succubus rushing at you, not catching a re-stealth. You see where the Succubus is at, you can stun it, and now Reverence is kind of out in the open. Reflect, Mortal Call, perfect. Succubus needs to do something right now. SC does get caught out. It's going to be Soulfire, but the Warlock is feeling the pain right now. Stun short for SC. Maybe could go for, I don't think you got Reflect. Nope, defensive stance. That's about all he can do. Chicago charging out, immediately zapping out Reverence into a Fear Casbolt right after, but I don't think he's going to let this Warlock live much longer unless Reverence got some kind of a trick up his sleeve. This man is kind of out in the open naked, only got a wall ready for him, but that's really about all he's got, unless maybe Succubus, you see, last second, oh, just elemental blasted him and he hit him with a flag. Okay. Chicago, you probably shouldn't also be flagging anybody either, but Reverence did flag you last time. It doesn't mean that what you did is right. You shouldn't do that. You should do that, but at least there's some explanation for the chat. Reverence did that earlier to Chicago. Chicago just returning the flag back. They just passed it. Big damage onto Chicago as Tyr unleashing everything, but having to rotate every single defensive as well. Cloak, evasion, all have been used. Only has a vanish. And Chicago is actually just completing the drain of cooldowns. If this is going to be a clean go by Tyr, it's just over. The game is done unless Chicago does get to root Tyr out the open. Last to follow has a trinket in case he wants to use it, but he's going to be able to catch himself a re-stealth either way off of that stun. I'm surprised he caught a re-stealth. Was that a shadow mode? That was a shadow mode. Stun on Chicago. Unless you kill him right here. Oh, cold blood and everything. It's over, man. The game was over from the get-go. Let's get us another one going here, yeah? Uno más, dude. These Warlocks, man. But the Warrior clawing back to that victory, trying to do the very, very best that he could. Almost got Reverence down into maybe an unsafe position. Did not have to force a wall out of him, so he had plenty to work with. Had a pretty big cooldown, but man, is it rough. Let's get us another one going here, boys. Yeah. What's up, Kevin? See if I got the Jester Warlock. Can we get a Warlock for Candy? Dude, maybe. Hold on, is he around? Because you can maybe get Seavark in here. He's not on right now. Night King needs one more, by the way. Where's your group listed? 5? Wait, Night King got a 5-man. Okay, we could maybe switch up these groups a little bit. Boris and Chicago, let me know which one of you is ready. I'll try to see if I can get one of you versus Night King versus Chill Pills in just a second, yeah? Let's get you guys up and running. Hey, what's up, Aura? Hey, my man. Hey, did you see the Arcane Echo target bug? The Arcane Echo, I did not. Fire getting nerfed this week again because it's too strong. I did see that they are getting nerfed. What is the Arcane Echo target bug? What is Arcane Echo even? It's not like the AoE thing. Not ready. 5. So Chicago got 4. Let me see if I can get you guys a group, or if I can help you guys maybe get a +1. Boris, are you ready? Do you have 5? Oh, you see the changes? So you see the changes? I've seen them. Yes. There's gonna be some new stuff. The Death Knight one is an interesting one. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I'm on Night King right now. Wait, you're with Night King? Wait, did you just like invite Night King and pass him lead? Or just same group? We need more people in our group. Wait, do you have a diabolical added? I should, hopefully. Let's join. Wait, okay, hold on. Did Boris leave and join Team Night King and now Tier is on the other team? Tier, how many people do you have in your group? Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out who's got groups, who's got whatever. Diabolical's added. I think he's got lead or reverence. Can you tell some people to join? Wait, it's you and Conan? Okay, hold on a second. Let's do this. Man, okay, so it looks like Boris left. It looks like Diabolicals as well as Reverence both left. I think they left. Why? Probably to join Night King or Chicago, yeah? Tier, just tell Conan, you and Conan just back out of the groups and see if you can join Chicago or Night King for the next match, yeah? Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll just have Chicago and Night King lead, and we'll just have them rotate people out, yeah? We'll do it like this. I think just so we have 2 groups. Because Boris bailed, and I think we saw him bailed, and then tried to jump in with Night King and Chicago since they got a spot open. They just want to play. I think we'll just have them both lead for now, yeah? I think that's going to make it easier. Night King. Wait, can't spell your name at all. We'll do it like this. Not gonna lie, I've seen Chicago die so fast in that first game. I think it was legitimate first. Dude, it was crazy. That was insane. That was awesome to see, honestly. Like, just that amount of damage. It's through wall, too. Unless Chicago's running, like, a different wall for that one, I'm pretty sure wall is, like, a 40% DR, isn't it? Is it not? Wait, we have a shaman right here. Yeah, 40% DR, and you can give it a shorter cooldown, or increase the DR to 60% DR. So at least it's baseline 40 DR. I mean, that's a lot of DR. They were low health, but that's still a lot of DR. No groups, no Jesus spots. Have Chilled and Chicago lead 2 groups. But they will rotate bodies. I will let you boys know on stream when the spots are up. I think we'll do it like this, Conan. Yeah. Did we get Q working? Let me try it again. Blade's Edge again. Unless you just don't want to do Blade's Edge. Maybe you declined because of the Blade's Edge. Because you could do something else, but that's what you guys want to do. Sorry, I missed out. I missed out whatever somebody said to me. And someone said someone died. Let me know, but at least it's interesting. Good direction, making it Honor Town feel less negative. I do agree with you. It's gonna be a little more consistent. I think it's a nice move. Making it a proper stun. It's a really good one, honestly. Every 30 seconds you have a stun. That's really, really good. You know, at least it's gonna feel better, and the damage too. They really do gotta think about survivability for Death Knights, like for Frost. Because I do agree with you, for Unholy, you could just gotta do damage from range and you can kite stuff. Like the amount of damage you could do to a monk while they're chasing after you with just chains and clawing alone is ridiculous. Like you having to do that on a Frost Death Knight just wouldn't work. at all. So they really want to get Fire Mage out of the meta, huh? They're trying to, but I don't think it's going to be a chain. I think mages right now have really good utility. Just as what the class brings, not even the damage, but what the class brings is just massive. That combined together with Priest as well as Evoker is still a really good combo. Not even just in damage alone. But if you do pull big and a Fire Mage out there blasting, it is going to be big damage. Need someone died on the cliff. A lot different of a spec has about more survival. 100% needs different treatment to Unholy. Unholy is a lot different of a spec. Frost of pure melee just needs to be in danger to do anything. Yeah, I think maybe there needs to be like, I don't know, like a mandatory PvP. Just like take a talent that all Frost Death Knights run at all times and just make it like a, make it so they're like, I don't know, give them like more survivability, maybe less burst damage, and just their constant threat rather than just like a bursty threat, and just change the direction, because then it's like at least you know the class isn't gonna sneak up on you with some crazy burst out of left field, but rather it's just gonna be constant there in your face type of like a juggernaut deal, and make it like a PvP talent that you have to take in all situations. At least it'll be better than nothing until they can adjust the spec in another way, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what would be the easiest way to do it. Easiest way, best way would probably be just to balance it. Just, I don't know how you would give him like more survivability though. I'm just thinking of like, what if you give him like a talent that just bolstered them, gives him more stamina, some defensive damage reduction, some armor, but it reduces their burst. You know what I mean? I want to play WoW. Do you think it's a good idea? Once 10.17 comes out, I think it would be a fantastic time to return if you were planning on returning. Let's do a Tiger's Peak, because Blade's Edge doesn't seem to be working for some reason. I think when 10.17 comes out, it's going to be fantastic when it comes to catching up your ults. So if you want to play multiple characters or get a couple of characters leveled and even geared, 10.17 will be a good time. That's coming out on September 5th. But if you want to join and play WoW right now, it has been pretty fun. Dragonflight has been an interesting expansion. I'd say it's been a better one than Shadowlands. I've been enjoying this a lot too. I feel like we're in a bit of like a lull. We're waiting for like 10.2 information, and 10.17 is bringing some new features for catch-up, but not really much in terms of class changes or any shakeups in the meta. But 10.2 I think is where that could be a perfect time. If you were planning on going back for any of the expansions, maybe like see what 10.2 has to offer, and if that looks like fun, then maybe come back for 10.17 to get a character ready, so then you're caught up by the time 10.2 comes out. That would be a good time to do it, man. I'd say for the most part the game is in a pretty, like, it's definitely one of those lulls where we like a 10.1 waiting for a 10.2 patch, and any expansion has been like that. Every one of them has had kind of a lull. But I think this one is still like, even though we're in a lull, it's hard to tell, but I want to say it's like healthier than expansions, because like the main Valdraken of City of Valdraken is still a pack full of people. Like compared to like Orbos, which barely was like, it felt like nobody was there at all besides prime hours. Valdraken still has a lot of people, even in the middle of the night, man. So people are definitely playing the game quite a bit. But yeah, if you wanted to wait, you could. Not the worst idea, you know? To Twitch. We got ourselves Team 1 over with Kevin, with Makima, Valir, and Chicago in the back. And Train Me Please is going to be trained by Light Messiah. This man, I think, is trying to see if he can go for the reverse psychology. Train me please, but he's kind of hoping, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Silence of the Light, trying to go for mind games, getting interrupted. Flash heal is the only thing. Oh my goodness. The Paladin just didn't even give him a chance. Oh my god. Trying to go for a heal. Quick interrupt. Pop wing, slamming down, massive hammer over the boy's head. The guy's got nothing real left. That was actually unfortunate. Getting locked out on Shadow, not having access to disperse was pretty rough. Bubble immediately as Makima trying to see if he can get himself a bit of an open over Light Messiah, forcing a big immunity out of him pretty early. Trying to see if he can maybe avenge the priest from before. Shadow strikes off the bat. Secret technique to follow. Doesn't even go for stones. This man is just going in for raw damage. Shortest stun in the world. Does go for the eviscerate into advantage just to escape out of there immediately. As Chopos runs out, walks by the rogue, is going to get himself the swarm rolling in, as well as playing the, what looks like the necromantic bargain build. So he's going to have a little bit more burstiness with that big apocalypse slamming down, but not going to be able to summon any homies by his side. Son to Makima got himself the full pets, attacking him into a big execute. Oh, Chills is playing the execute Reaper build. Oh, that's going to be so good. Cheap shot by Valera right after, immediately breaking out of that stun with an icy bound fortitude. Trying to see if he can go counteroffensive with the rogue. Got himself a grippy hand. Cloak shot is follow. AMS versus some of the rogue's abilities. Killing Spirit right after for Valera as they just keep trucking the damage in Chill. It's all physical. It's actually going right to Chills. Chills is a lot better at mitigating magic damage than physical. And all these hits are doing a lot of damage. But maybe turn this around onto Valera. Gets the rogue incredibly low. Summon up the entire army of the dead. And then chase it after the rogue. Try to see if he can end them. Might just go down to the ghouls just there. It's going to be big ghoul summoned up as well. Buffed up. Oh, and just gets slaughtered. Mauled down by the army of zombos, as Chicago is going to be charging out next, trying to see if he can have himself a go versus Chill. Looks like wants to give him a bit of an honor duel. Big death strike, by the way. When you slay somebody, that death strike is quite juicy. But Chill is going to have to play a little bit slower, I think, for Chicago. It looks like Chicago is changing up towards more of an elemental enhancement build, more focusing on the lightning, the frost, and the fire damage. For Chilled, that's actually perfect. It's going to be big damage on the Chicago as they do go for a big zap of their own. Raptors are in play. That's going to be a bit extra fire damage for Chill Pills, who's playing more as a Death Knight anti-caster playstyle, which is like a natural Death Knight thing, really. It's going to be kind of a better matchup. Stone on Chicago, buffing up the pet, knocked back by the Thundershock, though, as it's going to be Chicago bailing out of there. Wraith walk for Chilled, trying to see if he can escape the pets. His ghoul is stuck in that totem, cannot really help him out whatsoever. Trying to see if he can claw down at Chicago, who may just end up get some more cooldowns rolling blind, as it's going to be a big necromantic bargain dot with an execute. Mad damage. Wait a second, Chupos almost had the biggest go. Burrow down for Chicago, just burrows their head in the sand, trying to see if he can avoid Chupos. Yet another execute as Elastic comes out. Just needs a little bit more damage. Just keep Chicago low enough, grounding on him for just a second. It looks like Chicago barely escaping, and Battle Best freaking falling off, but this Death Knight is the Reaper of the arena. He's trying to see if he can just rip your souls out of your bodies. Can he do it though? Chicago trying to see if he can get himself a better setup. Chain of Ice right after, got himself grippy hand. You're not going to be making any easy escapes, but still trying to make it happen either way though. AMS up for Chill Pills, and Chicago looks like they're just going to use Raptor form in order to stay away from the grippy hand. I don't even know if that thing got a grip. Got a proper grip, because I don't think Chicago ever really got super far away. Look at the boot, man. Just yoinked him in with a grapple, with a grip, but it's going to be a Thundershock. Almost like it's just like the momentum. Almost like he hits right into Chill Pills, setting him flying as he gets gripped into the guy. That actually looks so good. Chill Pills, not looking all that healthy right now. No AMS for a good bit. Doesn't have big cooldowns yet when it comes to damage. So potentially could be a opportunity for Chicago to maybe make a turnaround. And Chicago got a wall coming back up in 20 seconds. Should be syncing up pretty close with all the other abilities. Last up for a second. Chilpa's using IBF really early, breaking himself out of that totem. But his pet is trapped back there. Swarm joins in, trying to see if he can ramp up a better damage versus Chicago. Root is going to stop him in place, but Wraithwalk gets him out in the open. It's going to be that necromantic bargain yet again. Maybe has himself the big execute on Chicago. This is going to be that big knockback that he needs. Death Goal's doing quite a bit of damage, but not enough to go. The Mages of the Dead trying to get a couple of those Frostbolts, Shadow Bolts in, but it's just not enough damage just yet. Chicago looks like they're going to go for a bit of recovery. Walls back up. Got him some Guardian Cone back up very, very soon. Next down could be really, really deadly. And Triple trying to see if he can get himself a setup for Chicago. Sunder, perfect opportunity for Chicago to maybe have a big go. Going to be the dome coming down, so actually trying to prevent Chicago from having a proper go. It's going to be grounded totem last second as the grip comes out, and Chicago seeing the ghoul transform, still looking to run, still looking to drop down totems to keep the guy at bay. Might even have the static totem too. Got the Raptors, feeling pretty confident. It's going to be a mad hit by Chilpos instantly. First global blind to follow on to Chicago, probably has the execute ready. Is it going to be enough? Trinket burrow down, trying to see if he can avoid Chilpos the best possible. Alien Blast, not enough to break through the defenses of the Death Knight. Barely alive, barely hanging in. That's going to be the Spore Cloak activated. Chilpos trinkets out of this one. Got him some grippy hand. Not enough to catch up to Chicago. But look at you, maybe end this right now. Does he have it? And does end up reaping their soul, taking him out of the game. Well done, well done. As the Unholy Death Knight making a small comeback for his team. AMS up as the Hodge comes out. Kevin unable to get a proper stun, goes in for a Wake of Ashes. Bubble immediately. Chilpos needs to find a way to play it super safe. Might decide to go for a Dark Pact here. Death Pact may just have to be used. Have himself the bargain. Probably has himself stun. Sacrifice his main ghoul. Might decide to go for the bargain. Does go for the Death Pact. Might be in a bad spot. Blind. Does he have anything whatsoever? Stun. Is going to try to see if he can get himself some pets, but it's going to be Kevin take him down. Unless you had a blind in the last second and then you could just walk away from the guy with a chain of ice. There's just not much you could really do. I feel like if maybe Kevin gave him an opportunity, at least let him get a full set of health, let him catch up a little bit, might have been okay, but that's rough, man. Immediate bubble in the opener. forcing cooldowns out of you. It's just once you got a death pact on you, it's so difficult to recover unless you can get away from the enemy. Into a Garrote immediately by Demonic, playing out that assassination set. Blessing protection off the bat for Kevin. Into a stun, try to see if he can maximize some damage onto Demoniac. Doesn't want to give this rogue a chance or an opportunity. Cloak shot is by the rogue. Try to see if he can stay on top of Kevin. Get all those dots back up, but it's going to be blind. Trigger to follow. Could be a proper stun by Demoniac as his Spore Cloak does come out. Kevin has himself Shield of Vengeance, potentially wall maybe? Death Mark is going to be up immediately, blind by Kevin. It's going to be trickled out of the rogue. Got himself the evasion with the DFA to follow Kevin. Shield of Vengeance might be enough. Does get quite a bit of damage into the rogue. Is this enough cheat death? Throwing in the hammers. Needs to catch up to the rogue right now. Does he have the mobility? Trying to go for Wake of Ashes to keep himself alive. Needs one more hammer. Demoniac looking for an escape. Should be able to get behind the Tiger statue and find himself stealth. Kevin, I don't know if you got laying hands or not. If you do, you better use it early. 38% dampening. You better use it as soon as possible. You don't have a wait out of next stun. Somehow keeping Demonic in combat though. I don't even know how. Sap to follow. I think this game maybe goes to Demonic. If he got himself a bit of damage to break past like what, 50-ish% of Kevin's health, he might be okay. Kinder Shot has a wall. I don't think it's going to be easy. Does go for the shift, letting the dots do it, letting the paladin drain and bleed. Is going to throw the hammers. Every single one of those hammers is going to be extra deadly. Demonic better get the hell out of there. Next time the guy got horse. It's going to do a lot. It's going to let him close that gap very, very easily. Kevin needs to go for laying hands as soon as possible. There it goes. Dampening 42%. So it's not that much of a heal, but it's better than nothing. Trying to stay on top of Demonic. How's the guy still on the stealth? Stun? I think it's over. I think the paladin might just have him. Oh my goodness. That is so close. I don't know what kept you in combat there, Demoniac. Actually, it looked like you should have been able to get out of this scot-free. Is it just me? I feel like you should have been able to catch a restart for a while. Kevin does have a Shield of Vengeance, a minute left on the bubble, but I don't think SC is going to let him get that minute. To reflect up, it's going to be Shockwave to follow Kevin with a blind right after, but it's going to be Warrior breaking out of that fairly quickly, taking him out. Well done, well done. My goodness, 3 for Chilled. Was it only 3? Did somebody leave, or is it just 3? I guess it's 3. Kevin does bring it back for his team quite a bit, but the man just ran out of resources by the end of it, man. Well done, well done. Let's get us another going here, yeah? Uno más, uno más. The LE enhanced play with some troll against the DK. I didn't get what I tried. Honestly, I think it's not the worst play. I guess the Death Knight, yes, it is probably like they are great at mitigating magic damage specifically. So I guess the Death Knight, yes, maybe not the strongest move, but I think the playstyle by itself, it is strong, it is viable, and it's quite powerful. You know what I mean? Okay, I think I have it saved. Okay. Wait, it's, oh my god, 220 already. Jesus. All right, groups are ready. What's up, Kevin? Ready? Awesome. Touch of the Grave got you out of stealth? Dude, that is so lame. That is actually so lame. Yeah, I was gonna say for a second, like, why are you not in... Honestly, Boris... I wonder if it's a good idea to maybe swap off of Undead at this point. Because that would tilt me. That would tilt me. Like, even I love the way Undeads look too. Ah, man. Like a really Undead style, but the racial is disgusting. Like, it's just this passive, man. You know what I mean? They just need to make it so that thing doesn't get you out of stealth. Already reported a bug like 10 times. Yeah, maybe they'll look at it and they're like, it's not a bug, it's a feature. But it's like, what? But what if you want to play Rogue? What can I join? Groups are not up right now. Tier groups, as it is right now, are all still 5. But as soon as we get a open spot, man, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. We'll have Chicago and maybe Night King rotate a couple of bodies in, yeah? After this one, maybe. If you guys want to. What's up, Joe? What's up, Carlos? I do, my man. Hope you have a good one. John, do you think we'll see new specs, classes, added to classes next expansion? I do hope, John, whatever we do, I do hope a Demon Hunter gets a 3rd spec. And maybe they could do like an Evoker augmentation thing, but not a buff class, but a debuff class. Instead of making allies stronger, they make enemies weaker, ripping their souls out of their bodies with like a scythe or something. I think that'd be dope. I don't think we'll see more specs. I think we'll just see revamps of specs that we have today. Complete reworks, if anything. I don't think we would have like a new spec. I feel like that'll make their jobs harder than having to revamp a spec entirely. They'll probably revamp like a handful of specs for every class, but not do too many, right? So maybe they'll do like maybe one spec per class would be maybe a lot too. But I think that's what it'll probably do, is they'll start revamping them little by little and just doing them one at a time to make sure that plenty of time is given, plenty of feedback is taken, and it's as best as it can be. I think that's going to be the case, honestly. But that's a guess, though. Which? A bit like Affliction Warlock? I think it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of neat. Chicago going to be first up over for the Team 1 with DJ Flex trying to see if it go for that honorable bow in the opener. DJ, dude, big fan of that survival. Love seeing DJ in these duels, man. I miss this guy. We've seen plenty of Kiosko. You remember saying, we haven't seen that one hunter pop in like 2 weeks ago, I think. I forget what his name was. Georgia? I think it was Georgia, but I might have messed up his name entirely. I just called him Georgia at the time. GG Flags trying to see if we can lay the traps. Looks like maybe it's not even going to be Chicago over the bat. Looks Chicago backs up. It's instead going to be Valera. DJ's actually getting a bit of a switcheroo for him in the opener. As Valera goes in with a cheap shot, going to be that flare, getting the rogue out last second. They do go for that ambush in the opener as the drone rush is flowing. GJ trying to go for a bit of a heal, but looks as if kind of a dot is still on him. I think might be the rogue dot too, the tier set dot. Just shock him off the bat. GJ wants to go in for big hits. Stun to follow. Just trying to see if he can back away from Valera. Letting the death shock him as well as the grenades do work, and Valera actually takes a bit of damage as DJ trying to see if he can take it super slow. Gonna be Light Messiah over on Team 2 with SC. We got us a Demoniac as well as Chill Fills, and DJ trying to see if he can hold his fort against the rogue, who's right above, having to hit the pet for a good bit. Could maybe pull the pet back, or just gonna let the pet do free damage right now. Chicago over on the Team 1. We got us as Train Me Please joining back in with Makima as well as Kevin. I love that mount, by the way, Kevin. Big fan of the Optics mount. They're not only fantastic normal ground mounts, but they also have 100% swim speed. So actually, probably one of the most best mounts you could ever get. Gonna be a cheap shot onto DJ. Does go for a trinket. Freezing trap to follow. Gonna be a trinket out of the rogue. Forcing a turtle out of DJ. The rogue kind of lowish on health, but it's not completely out of the woods just yet. As long as he has evasion, maybe even a Cloak of Shadows, for the most part, he'll be okay. Hunter's Mark does go for the cloak with a Vanish reset for DJ. He needs to get himself a little bit of recovery. Valeri needs to get in there before any of the traps are up, but it's going to be a camo of the bat. Maybe could pick up the eyes, but honestly, I feel like for DJ, eyes would be better than it would be for Valera, unless you're right next to the hunter. Does pick up the eyes of Valera, get a hit with the kill command immediately. Shadow step it over to DJ. Freezing trap stops him immediately. DJ, I think it just made waiting for until next intimidation. Got himself full death shock him. Wants to make some damage. Valera is actually taking quite a big hits. Stun to follow. Big damage out of DJ. Goes in for a disarm immediately. Harpoon to keep Valera in place. Big kill shots. Grenades to follow. Valera trying to see if he can escape. Cheat death right after, but smoke bomb doesn't stop you at all. You're still blood up. You got shrapnel on your body. You're just melting right now to the damage over time, and DJ does end up finding you and taking you out very cleanly, very carefully. Who's up next though? It's gonna be maybe Makima? Kevin? Train me up next to the Shadow Priest rolling up. A bit like Affliction as a debuffer. Yeah, think of like Affliction, but instead of like dots, put debuffs on enemies, making them take more damage, right? But it could be cool, like you can rend their soul so enemies are more susceptible to damage from your allies or something. You know what I mean? I think it'd be kind of neat. It'd be basically like similar style. Gonna be big Dark Ascension for Train Me, trying to go for mind games on a DJ. Potentially could do a lot of damage, but against a hunter, you're gonna have to deal with all the traps as well as the line of sight. You're not gonna have the easiest time trying to catch up to the guy. But if you can get those instant cast or hard cast hits onto the hunter, like spikes as well as mind games and mind blasts, that could do a ton of damage. DJ trying to see if he can play it super slow, super safe. Got himself a little bit of survivability with the pet as well as survival of the fittest. Train Me is still in a decent spot. They're trying to go for a bit of healing. Has the pet that he can at least get some mind blasts off of. If you can get dots onto DJ as well as dots on a pet, blasting the pet actually will cleave damage on a DJ, so that actually could be really strong altogether. Got himself tentacles joining in as well. If you can get a couple of those attacking DJ flex as well, that'd be perfect. Trying to see if he can get around, but these traps around the pillars, man, you're not gonna have the easiest time with it whatsoever. Does he have a Shadow Crash though? If he has Shadow Crash, if you can get that Shadow Crash behind the pillar to hit DJ, Like, you'll be golden, actually, and you won't be able to. He won't be able to do much in terms of having to deal with these dots. Gonna be fear as soon as the trick comes out. Gonna be mind games on the DJ. Trying to go for big ascension with maybe big damage interrupted on Shadow as well as Frost. Not in a great spot. Trainme can go for some holy heals in order to catch up. Maybe does not play into Power Word Life. So might be in a bit of a bad situation, cannot escape out of the execute range, stun to follow. DJ does not have himself the death chakram or anything, but got himself a bit of damage trying to see if he can steal the boss away from Trainme. Maybe he could go in for Harpoon. Just try to keep the dots rolling the, what is it, Desperate Prayer? Or Battlemaster Trinket just fell off of Trainme. If DJ was in a good spot, a kill shot could have ended it, but he's trying to play it super slow, super steady. With magic dots, he can't get rid of them nearly as easily, so he's trying to keep himself afloat for the next competitor. Trying to see if he can take down Trainme slowly, stun around the corner. It's gonna be VT up. This is gonna charge it, intro and interrupt. Oh my god, that coordinated assault charge though does the DJ close the gap so easily. Stun to follow is gonna go for a turtle shell immediately. The pet is able to maybe give him a sack potentially. May just want it against the damage that Kevin's got. Hand of Freedom keeping this man running. Freezing Trap stops him in place. Does not have a trinket for this one. Bubble instead. Wait a second. Wait, were your trinket really on cooldown, or is that a debuff, or is that a bug? I don't even know if Kevin has a trinket, honestly. It might show that he has one, but he may not have access to one, so it's kind of a bit of an amoeba. But while Kevin is super far away from Kevin, he can't make the crusade damage happen, and as long as DJ got himself the angle, this melee hunter get himself quite a bit of that range damage. Try to stay away from Kevin. He is very, very concerned about the wings. Shield of Vengeance is going to go for the pet sack. Even getting next to Kevin for just 2 seconds, not going to feel great. Got himself that nice little range right now. He can go for big range damage. He's going to go for yet another charge towards Kevin. I think this time with the spearhead, should be able to get himself big damage. Feint for a second, freeze and trap it to Kevin. Maybe he can remove the Blessing of Protection if at all. Does he have Trink Shot? Does get to remove it. Maybe this could be an opportunity. Does have his pet stun, but the looks of his pet stun right around the corner. Kevin got himself a little bit of survivability as the Spore Cloak is activated. DJ not in a great spot on health. Kill shots are huge on Kevin. May just go down here either way. Just needs one more kill shot. Going for a bit of manic bandages. Next stun could be deadly. Does leap in with grenades, just whittling down the enemy until he can find the right opportunity to pounce on him. Playing it as carefully as he can while staying aggressive whenever needed. Makima gonna be up next. DJ diving immediately into cam. A random player out in the open. Makima has to use all their senses to see if they can find DJ. Where could he be? Either hanging out by one of the eyes, either he's up here in the flare and just keeping himself protected, looking for full recovery, or he's just somewhere out in the corner roaming. So Makima is someone too. Makima actually had the best senses, just waited for him. He didn't even look for him. He's literally like, I'll wait for him to come to me. And you literally walk exactly where DJ was walking, like he knew. Stun right after, trying to see if he can stop him up and get big damage. Big secret technique. It's going to be pet sack for DJ, but it's still going to do a lot of damage. Got himself coordinated soul versus Makima. Big stun, big kill shots, massive burst out of this hunter. Evasion to follow, trying to see if he can get away from Makima. Root for just a second, does go for a vanish. Flare gets him out in the open. He's going to go for manic bandages. Next kill shot could be deadly as soon as that evasion is off. You just got to make sure that evasion is no longer stopping. And freeze it up for just a second, just to put the rogue on ice. Do not have a stun. Steel trap to follow. Needs to get some kind of dot damage onto the rogue. Right now, DJ could go down in a single stun. Makima just needs to make sure he doesn't get to go into stealth at all. Norma Vanish is available. Has himself a blind. So DJ really just needs to find himself a good situation. Needs that range. Throwing a grenade, but a blind is going to be up. Makima with a Shadow Strike. Feint death for DJ. Does get a dodge out of the secret technique. That could have just killed him just now. Makima needs a stun. Freeze it trap. Stop him. Kill shot is probably going to be the end of him, right? Hopefully. Harpoon with a death shotgun, trying to make sure he's going to get himself the most damage all in a single go. Well done by DJ Flex. Playing it super, super slow and super scared of the road because the next stun could be the end of you, man. Oh my goodness. As DJ goes in with a bit of a camo, trying to go for a reset. Sickles is garbage. I'm back on the bug. This map is garba. I'm sorry, WAP. I like this map for the aesthetics, but I do know that a lot of you guys don't enjoy this map that much. I love it for aesthetics. But if like you guys, all of you, overwhelmingly said, don't do Blade's Edge ever again, we will never do Blade's Edge again. I just like it for the aesthetics, man. The fire, the big ogre sitting there, the bridge, just it's a classic, you know? Gonna be a zap onto Flex as he gets stunned up with a full Guardian available for Chicago. Disarmed immediately. Big burst out of Flex. Chicago barely even had a chance to respond. Having to go for as much self-healing as possible. At 46% dampening, quite a lot of the healing is suppressed, especially as the Rapture is most likely running a Mortal Strike effect, further reducing that healing. I guess further reducing the healing. What else could I say? Downwards? I was trying to see if we could add some extra to the sentence, but really, further reducing that healing. Job done. Go home. Gonna be Flex trying to see if he can get himself a better setup versus Chicago with a coordinated assault. Has himself potential a lot of damage. Wants to get Chicago in a better spot. Does not have a stun or anything. Grenades are available. Does go for the burrow as he's trying to mosey his way over towards Flex. He got himself that range versus Chicago Harpoon. As Chicago trying to see if he can back up out of there. Tries to see if he can get himself good line of sight. Does something for a second. Light the lasso. Flex barely alive. Needs a little bit more damage. What is that lasso? I feel like the duration of lasso just kept going a little bit longer than it was supposed to be. Chicago does end up ripping the lasso onto the hunter, taking him out of the game though. Well done. I gotta look back at the lasso. It looked like the what is it? The cast duration just kept going longer than I expected it to. Like, is it just me? Am I the only one who saw that? By the way, love that mog. That thing looks insane. That a little bit of that red, a little bit of that like hazel look. Looks great. I hear a flashbang. Is that what you're gonna do? Flashbang arena? Maybe. I think they're gonna Titan order focus version of Demon Hunter third spec. I feel like they could technically, Jake. It would be hard for me to imagine one. Bring a Demon Hunter into these duels, dude. I'd be down for DH. I think a DH would be great. Looks like Chicago versus Chill Pills, a proper honor duel between the two. 10 minutes on the mark, 56% dampening. You ain't healing nothing. Whatever cooldowns you have, you better use them early. And Chicago's actually a little bit down on cooldowns. Does get interrupted on the light at last and needs to get Raptors up and running. Has himself the Guardian. Definitely want to use it as soon as possible. Wall as well. All the survivability you got is used on a single global, but I don't think Chill Pills is going to let you out of this one scot-free. The Death Knight got a lot of damage, lots of potential. So unless you have those cooldowns rolling at the very start of their go, it's over. DJ does bring it back for his team. Massive 1v4. Does get slammed down by the Shaman. I feel like the lasso much longer than the casting gave it. But well done either way. Played it super clean. Mad burst out of survival. That's the thing. One thing that a lot of people never really expect out of survival is the burst that a hunter can do. That's only going to get better like with this Tuesday as the explosive shot gets a little stronger. Did you even use explosive shot in that run? Probably gonna want to start using it then, yeah? What do you use instead? I guess you go for the kill command build, yeah? That makes sense. Where are we at? 2-2? There we go. Chicago, let me know if you need more bodies. We'll get you guys some more people. Oh, like the actual face? Yeah, maybe. What's this? I find it was you doing more from PvP. I'm about playing 40 games too. Is the right Destrum. Oh my god, it's fair. Buffs. Survivability, not low damn. Yeah, survivability isn't that great, but it could be. So the thing with survivability is if you give them more dam, they have leech too, yeah? So if you give them more dam, they actually get more healing with leech. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to give them more burst. Not just overall dam, but like burst damage. It's mostly that a lot of the damage is going to come from, I mean, the bleed is going to be nice, chaos strike damage is going to be nice, but it's mostly going to be down to that essence break and the damage increase of essence break. But yeah, lots of windwalkers. I feel like windwalkers have become more popular because they can just do a ton of damage and they can catch up to all these ranged. Ranged have been dominant for so long, but a monk is able to counter range pretty well. The reason you don't see Demon Hunters is because Demon Hunters don't queue up or join in the first place. For like 5v5 duels? That's true. Or you mean like in general in arena? Also true. Also true. Why don't you play in these 5v5 1v1 duels? Because I can't do the camera thing while also participating. And a lot of you guys enjoy the camera thing a lot more than me participating. Because it's just like, oh, I've seen it play before, Dal. Come on, man. Let me get the angles, dude. Let me just get in the involved camera action in there. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it too. I think it gives a whole new perspective. But yes, Athel, lots of windwalkers out there. I like if we complain about windwalkers when rogue still exists. Alrighty. What are we gonna do? Throw you guys into? I got one. I like this one. Wait, didn't it work? Okay, hold on. I had an extra D in there that didn't need to be. Dal don't play, he's a cameraman, and the cameraman never dies. True. True. I win all of these, man. I'm never dead in these arenas. That's true. But no, I did ask you guys like a while ago, like, hey, do you prefer like camera stuff? Or do you like, because I was doing back and forth, and I was like, do you guys prefer camera stuff? Or do you prefer like me actually playing? And a lot of you guys were like, Dal, there's plenty of videos of you like actually playing. There's plenty of like footage of you doing stuff. Plenty of that. All right, don't worry about it. We get to watch you a lot as is. So can we just like feature these players? Because that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. But yeah, a while ago, 6 years ago, a while ago, wasn't we? I don't think it was 6 years ago. No, like if you're being like if you're memeing, yeah, like 12 years ago. If we're being realistic, I think like it wasn't like recent 2 weeks ago, but it was more recent than you think. Yes. Being able to send out the universe ending and capturing it, never die. Dude, it is really fun just watching you guys that up close and seeing some of the action from a different angle. It is really fun for me. I enjoyed, man. I think Dal, man. Alright, Chicago. Chicago is going to be the official Dal historian of these duels, man. I'm perfectly cool with that. I believe you. I believe you. You guys have been playing these as long as I've been hosting them, honestly. I'm not going to argue. You guys are, in most cases, you guys are probably right, man. Alright, we got this set up and everything. Cool. Beautiful. Let's get more of these, man. I got some Baldur's Gate I gotta play later tonight. I got a party I'm gonna be going to in Baldur's Gate to Twitch. We got ourselves Team 2 together with Chill Pills as the unholy DK with DJ Flex in the back. Just popped off of a win from last kill. Diabolical's joining in. Light Messiah in the back as well as SC. We got us this caster meta going back out on the Monk. Oh my, what is a good set. I like that helm. I think it looks so good. The fact that you have like the glowing blue eyes is a little unusual for Night Elf. I'm usually used to like yellow. It looks good either way though. We got us as Kevin in the back. Makima looks like first up. Chiro in the back as a sub, and we got us as Chicago on that lightning-y or elemental enhancement build. Diabolical just kind of waiting for the rogue, man. Just gotta wait, and now it gotta suck us out in the open roaming. Makima better have himself a good go off the bat. I think he's just gonna wait maybe until Diabolicals pick up eyes. Is that what they're doing? That or trying to figure out who's gonna be caster meta or Makima. But I think he just sent up a port just ahead of the time. Diabolical is just waiting. Who's it gonna be? One of these is in stealth. Hold on, is Tyr in stealth? Tyr is not in stealth. So you know it has to be the rogue. Does Makima counter the succubus? Does get to do it with a shadowy duel. It does end up kind of taking you out of the duel where the pet, the succubus, can't quite reach you. I think he can auto attack you, but I don't think he can actually like succubus CC you. Big bonds of fellas. Makima getting feared out. Cloak of Shadows with advantage really early on for Diabolicals. That's actually a lot of cooldowns out of the row committed, and doesn't even get to port the second technique, taking no damage from that ability whatsoever into a big old ball of fire. Meteor coming down with an Infernal Shadow Step by Makima, trying to see if he can go for another cheap shot, but I think it's super tripping the yard onto Diabolicals at that point, trying to port the rogue out of the way. Is gonna port it behind the pillar with a Chaos Gate, attacking him from a distance as they do going for a dance. Has himself a blind, has himself no more vanish. That's gonna be second to CC, and it's just over. Stun, cheat death, blind on the Diabolicals. Makima just burning down to the Infernal and does end up going down either way. Diabolicals able to take him out with Kevin charging out off the bat. Immediate stun, full wings available. Crusade ramping up. Diabolical immediately just walls this off together with the dark bat. Could be a bubble out of Kevin. Exactly what's going to happen is a bubble. Diabolical better get himself in a better situation. I don't think they have the gate. No, does get to use the gate to get away. That wall together with the dark bat is enough to make him as durable as Kevin is with his bubble. Into a reflect, succubus CC in case there's a stun. Kevin trickets out of it. No more reflect to stop him. Could go in for a stun to lock down Diabolicals as he got himself triple portal open. The shadowy portals are gonna slowly drain Kevin over time. Just needs to get away from the paladin and just let him run. Shield of Vengeance is available. Try not to break the bonds of fell really early. but does have Shield of Vengeance in order to give himself plenty healthy. Mortal Coil available very soon to Diabolicals. Not a lot of health available. Second BCC last second. Chaos Bolt off with that one. With a Mortal Coil, maybe. Actually, I don't even know if Mortal Coil does anything for you at this point, right? Dark Pact does stun him. Rocketed, just absolutely crashing everything. Kevin is just relentless. As a Paladin, is not going to let these Warlocks run amok at all. Just wait until the Destra gets a 50% Chaos Bolt buff, and I think Kevin may be in a weird spot at that point. But until then, he can definitely do quite a bit of damage. DJ Flag is going to be up next, as Kevin trying to recuperate a lot of his cooldowns. He only got himself laid on hands to keep himself alive. Normal Blessing of Protection, or rather Blessing of Spell Warden. Normal Bubble. Got himself Crusade coming back up at some point in the future. Stun onto Kevin. Death Shock him together with those kill shots as a full blaster damage comes out of Flex. Is going to go for a stun around the corner. Flex with a Trinket. Kevin trying to see if he can stay on top of him. Quick Manic Bandage of Flex. He could go for another kill shot onto Kevin. I think he still should have himself a big go, right? Unless Coordinated Assault lasts only like 10 seconds. I don't remember. I thought it was a 20-second duration. Kevin trying to stay on top of it as best as he can. Trying to get literally next to Flex as he gets in with the disarm. Lay on hands blind as Kevin charges in. And I think one of them picked up the ice. I think it might have been Kevin accidentally picking up the ice. 5% more damage taken. Not going to feel good. But he's able to crack through DJ Flex's defense. Is forcing out a turtle. Got himself full Crusade Wings. This is where Kevin needs as much survivability as possible. Kill shots are going to be extra deadly right now. Whatever healing you can get, the better. Death Shock him. Not going to feel good at all. Next stun by the Hunter could be huge. DJ Flex takes big hits of damage, but does end up doing just enough to get Kevin low enough to take him out of the game. Chicago up next. Running out is going to give Kevin what looks like a bit of an honor duel, at least trying to give him as much of an honor duel as possible. Could maybe go for a camo, or potentially even have, like, I was going to say Light Messiah. Could always go and heal him if you're fine with it. Ooh, swapping Mogs. I like it. I like it a lot. So it looks like it's going to be a bit of an honor duel between the two. Last time these two dueled each other, Chicago did win the duel narrowly, though. So it's going to be a bit of a rematch between the two. Not nearly as high of dampening. And Flex, I feel like, if he has himself a Trinket for the next lasso, he might be okay. Chicago is going to pop off with the Earth Elemental off the bat. Dutch Shock is going to attack him, do a bit of damage, but Chicago is going to have himself a little bit extra bolstered health. Full lasso to Flex. That's exactly how he won the duel last time. Zapping the guy down. Going to be a big harpoon to follow for Flex. Using that mostly for the mobility. Freeze on one of the Raptors, but another Raptor as well as the Earth Ellie are going to be on him. If you can use your main pet to taunt the Earth Elemental away from you, you might be in a good spot. Actually, his pet does get killed fairly quickly. The Earth Elemental is perfect, though. He's able to eat all those steel traps. Big damage from around the pillar. Onto Flex, goes in for Coordinated Assault, trying to see if he can take down Chicago. No Death Shock up to follow. That is going to be walled to go with Guardian. Flex seeing all those defenses come out of Chicago wants to be very careful about him. And actually, while you have all those Raptors, all these Earth Elementals, all of them, the advantage of all these extra pets for Shaman is the fact they could just eat up all those traps around the corner of the Flex. If you're careful, they could just eat all of them. Burrow, trying to see if he can catch up to Flex. Does he get to knock him up? Almost. He was so close. Does get the pet knocked up in the air, but Flex is able to avoid him entirely. That is so close. Manic Bandages around the corner. As long as you get a Flame Shock on a Flex, it's going to make his Manic Bandages recovery a lot more difficult. Big LA Blast. Light the last before Flex can really disengage out of there. Into Death Shock him. Does so much to Chicago. Maybe big damage out of Flex. Flank and strike. Big damage. Kill shots to follow. Hoping to maybe end this duel right now. Got himself a little bit extra burst. Kill shots are doing a ton of damage. Mongus Bites are just absolutely shredding the Shaman and is able to get him out of the game that quickly. Well done, well done. With Tier gonna be up next, trying to see if he can find himself a setup versus Flex as well. Got him some Shadow Blades, immediate Shadow Strike, get her frozen, does he Trinket, does he stay, decides he's gonna stay his hand. Flex taking the opportunity of the freeze just to get himself a camo reset Hunter mark onto Tier, not gonna let him catch a reset whatsoever. Tier could pick up the eyes, is gonna do exactly that, but realize that Flex is nowhere near him. Could send the pet. Is he sending the pet? He does send the Raptor off around the corner. He's trying to see if he can trap up the whole pillar. Trying to get some dots on Tier. Immediate Shadow Step, but it's going to meet with... that Shadow Step is going to meet him with a freezing trap immediately. Never going to be able to get a proper opener onto Flex if he can control the situation. Stun into a disarm as well as Death Shock and big damage potential. Gonna go for Flank and Strike. Mad hit with a one Flank and Strike. His owner just walked away, got a couple of dots, let the thing do damage, trap, Flank and Strike, walk by him. That one Flank and Strike did a ton of damage. Trinket out of Tier though. trying to maximize the damage of the flex. Back-to-back stuns, not enough though. He's gonna go for survival of the fittest, having to rotate a lot of those defenses early on. It's gonna go for the big coordinated assault versus here. Needs an evasion, cheat death to follow. Not in a great spot, does go for the blind or to flex, but he's dotted up. He's already bled up. Ben is attacking him. I think he's just dead. Shadow Strike around the corner, getting a shot last second. Oh, but a kill shot is gonna take him out. Man, the amount of burst that a survival hunter can do is actually out of this world, man. Freezing Trap immediately onto caster meta as he's trying to see if he can catch up to Flex. And Flex needs to dive into a camo and stay out there for as long as possible. Wait a second, caster almost finds him. Oh my god. He almost knows. He actually does know exactly where he's at. Lexi with the Flex into Turtle Shell immediately as the Fist of Fury comes out. Caster meta not trying to play games whatsoever. Vivifies are up. Holding on to a trinket. Flex not in a great spot, trying to go for many Bennett's recovery. Traps around left and right hand side. If caster meta is careful, he could potentially avoid a lot of those. Is going to mount up and probably going to run through the traps a long way, actually, trying to avoid him as best as possible. Tar trap, he knows it's going to be freezing trap around the corner. Stun, Flex is going to be Zuen summoned up. Does he have a way to stop Zuen? No, Zuen eats a freezing trap, which is perfect for caster meta. That's actually great for him. Yet another steel trap stopped him in place, though. Flex able to get a bit of range damage. Needs to be very, very careful. Scatter shot into caster meta, at least trying to see if he can avoid the monk whenever he gets anywhere close. Tar trap yet again. He's got all these traps, scatter shots, everything. He's trying to stay alive as best as possible. Ring a piece, booping him out of the way. In cap to follow. Finally give caster meta a perfect way to lock down Flex. Big damage, Fist of Fury into a leg sweep. It's going to be a disarm onto caster meta. Does go in for the harpoon for just a second, keeping him in place. Karma available for the hunter or for the monk in case he ever needs it. Just goes in for a quick touch of death and gets himself out of there. My goodness. Light Messiah up next, trying to see if he can find himself a better angle versus caster. Immediate trinket out of the monk. May just have to go for a bubble. Karma. I was gonna say karma, but honestly it's like bubble. Counters it entirely, taking him out of the game. Yo, GG Flex, some big burst out of this guy. I love that one flanking strike around the rogue. You just put in a dot, death shock him, walking away, flanking, walked away. I just thought one flanking did a lot of damage. That's just incredible. My goodness, let's get us another going here, boys, yeah? Oh, no mas, no mas. Is that pet battles? Yo, I almost never see the health bars of the pet battles. They're also deep blue like this. What the? Looks like this guy on the left is winning. Am I a cat? Crack deals? Blazing piss. What are these names? This is so good. What the? 4 or 5? Yo, Chicago. We got spots open in Team Chicago. What are you at? Where you at listed? Yeah, there we go. So if you guys go to Raids Legacy, type in number. Why am I getting blasted? That scared the hell out of me. My health bar, dude. My screen went red. I thought something happened. Huh. Alright, if you guys want to join, by the way, as I'm dead. What a good kill, huh? Maybe that's the guy that's been killing people out here. It's a Shadow Priest. Oh, that's why. He's like, there's already BG. He left a BG. He's taking it out on everybody at the gates. There it is, man. If you guys want to join, group is listed right now with Chicago. We got a couple of boys in there if you guys want to join up. This hunter's insane. DJ is really good. It's been a good bit since we've seen DJ play in duels, but I guess we've seen him for a couple of matches over the last few weeks too. So, I mean, he's doing work. He's really good at his craft. He's very careful as a hunter. He does play it super carefully. So he's not like super risky. But I guess none of the hunters really do play it risky. They kind of have to play it careful. Just hugs the pillar and cuts around and just stacks on traps. I mean, that's basically what every hunter has done so far. Yeah, Wop? Let's be honest. That's what most hunters do. I don't think they can be out in the open. I think they, like, it's one of those things like, with rogues, right? With rogues, most rogues, like, why would they be out fighting you and, like, getting hit in the face, right? Why would they be doing that? Exit spam, swapping over? Let's go. Oh, I see you. I see all that warrior. I think it looked good. I like the weapon choices too. But yeah, it's like there's different kind of play, right? You can either play like super. Let's say need to play as hunter. Yeah, there are some classes like, you know how Airless plays, right? He goes in, rotates big defensives, plays with 2% health, but he still is gonna lock you down and go through all the bursts and everything, right? Rogues can play super slow like Grifka does, wait until cooldowns are up and then play it safe, or they can play risky. Safer play is probably the slow and steady, get your cooldowns. Risky play, you can still make some wins happen just because rogues slam and damage. Rogues should play slower, should play around the cooldowns, but they can go ham. Hunters, I don't really know if they have much of a choice. Hunters either play risky and die, or they play slow with traps and pillars and cooldowns and maybe stand a chance. Because even if they do that, doesn't always mean they... Yeah, I just don't think they are like rogues either. You know, they're squishy. Hunters are notoriously known as a pretty squishy class in most cases. All right, looks like we're ready. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's do Dalaran. We haven't done that one, so unless it doesn't work. I keep misspelling Dalaran. I put an extra D in Dalaran. I don't know why. Even still struggling with Hunter, those traps and aids. Dude, it is pretty rough, not gonna lie. Like, it's not easy to play around it whatsoever. That being said, in a 1-on-1 situation, that is what gives... Oh, Sensei joins in, let's go. Let's get it, man. X spam Sensei. I do agree with you. I think there are some classes that do get countered by Hunters, but Hunters aren't like an all counter class either. You know what I mean? Like, there have some good matchups and they have some bad matchups. But yeah, the traps thing, I would agree with you. I think Hunters should need to play less around traps. If they were to like reduce the amount of traps they throw down in an arena, but then maybe give them more defense so they are encouraged to stay out in the open, not chill behind the pillar with all the traps, I'd be cool with that too. I think the only way to do that is to reduce the amount of traps they do or increase the cooldown of those traps, right? So they don't get to use them all the time, but also increase their survivability so they don't need to constantly use their traps and then round and around the pillar. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. I totally am agreeing with you with that. But I basically calling for like 100 buff defensively, especially for PvE too. Which they are squishy even in PvE content. Sensei, we are missing a couple of boys over in Team 1, at least one body, but Chill Pills off the bat summon up the army of the undead versus Sensei, stunning him with the abomination, trying to see if he cracks those defenses further into a big old apocalypse, slamming down through the monk karma, maybe enough to redirect some damage back into Chill Pills, but he's able to mitigate a lot of it with that icebound fortitude and the anti-magic shell. Sensei trying to avoid this army of the undead, but he's unable to. The gargoyle got a pretty good spot, is able to blast him over shadow damage as the arbiter just keeps committing more punishment towards Sensei, but looks like for the most part almost survived the entire army of the dead. Able to rotate every single defensive, does have in the back pocket at least a dampen harm at the very least, and is maybe able to get a bit of sustained damage, but man, Chilpa's just walking up, slamming through the guy, just slashing right through it. The man just trying to hold on to their soul as they're going for Vivify's behind the pillar. Get another buff up by the pet, gonna be more death ghosts flying in, grip right back in there. Unless Sensei got a board, it's gonna be difficult to escape. That chain of ice is gonna be brutal, not able to be whipped out of the way with that ring of peace as the ghouls are falling apart all around Sensei little by little. Eventually those things do end up waning in life. As Chilpa's trying to get a blind on Sensei, does he get himself a big go? Massive apocalypse, is that an execute on top of it? Big fist of fury, oh, it does get the execute in there, the reaping, oh my god, if you can set up a reaping blind, hit that reap into a big apocalypse, keep him low, let the reap just extinguish the life of Chicago. Gotta be up next. Hopefully Team 1 will get an extra body in here. As Shaman charging out, Death Knight does have IBF down for a little bit. AMS is available, so maybe we'll be able to use the AMS to get some survivability. Chicago is still playing into that elemental focus enhancement build. The enhancement that does prioritize the elements. Big damage on Chilpas, does get to avoid the knockback by Chicago, but still having to play it super slow, super safe. Burrow down by Chicago, trying to get over next to Chilpas, not really able to get the most amount of damage for him. And Chilpas looking for a bit of recovery, just going for those death strikes off of the Earth Elemental, while keeping Chicago slowed behind the pillar. Light and Lasso right around the corner, able to do quite a bit of damage. Chilpas does have IBF coming back up very soon. This is going to drop down the dome for just a second, trying to see if he can keep himself plenty safe. Might be one of the situations where he uses Death Pact. Does sacrifice the ghoul, summon up a new one. Maybe Death Pact situation does burn an AMS as well. And Chicago just needs to wait out for the AMS and get some kind of damage in. Big grippy hand by Chilpas. Maybe can capitalize some pressure onto Chicago. Get himself a gold joy and then throwing out frostbolts back to back towards Chicago. And that's going to be blind to follow. Maybe with an execute right after. Chicago does a wall for this one. Maybe this will still be enough to stun. Does get himself a shield with a spore cloak, looking for a little bit of recovery. Chicago does get himself not a lot of defense, but looks like has been able to stabilize. Earth shield is available. Plenty of maelstrom. Lots of mana. Can keep himself alive with plenty of healing. Shield is not looking all that good right now. Lichborn, those death coils do more damage, but also more healing. Able to recover massive apocalypse onto Chicago. Is that an execute on top of it? Do they have an execute? This is where you would want a big Reaper. Not enough to kill Chicago just yet. Needs to get another Soul Reaper as soon as possible. While you keep a Soul Reaper on the Shaman, as long as their health stays low, they could go down any moment. Death goes, oh, it does go for the Soul Reaper. My God, the explosion of the Reaper is so good. The runes flying in all directions. The person goes down to the count. It is so great. Exit spam gonna be up next. Chain of Ice immediately hits him. And that's where Chilpas is going to have to use a lot of Chain of Ice to keep the X spam away from him. Death Pact is getting used early. Cannot really heal for this Death Pact. Just needs to wait out for the necrotic effects to fall off. Stun on chills. Does have a trinket. Blind to fall onto Exy. Goes in for a trinket himself. Chilpas just needs to wait this out a little bit longer. Stun onto Exy. Trying to play this game out as best as possible. Needs recovery. X spam. Trying to stay on top of the Death Knight. Does get himself a charge around the corner. AMS up for Chilpas. Don't really know what much he could really do in this situation. Needs death strikes, needs survivability, but I think at this point it's just over unless you can maybe somehow turn it around. X-Spam does go for a defensive stance at the end. Man, that was so close. I don't really know what Chilpas could have done in that situation. But Light Messiah, not gonna let X-Spam out of this situation. Try to go back behind the pillar, maybe get back in the room, really get himself some second wind healing. He's having to burn his big defenses as the blessing of protection comes out for Light Messiah, unless he can somehow get himself out of this situation. Somehow still alive even though through blessing of protection. Wait a second, maybe if you get himself a big heal, maybe he can make someone work here. Oh no, it's just over. That is rough. Is it gonna be Kevin next, or is it gonna be Tyr? Looks like Kevin was able to finally load in. He's throwing a judgments on Tyr in case it's him. No, it's actually going to be Kevin instead. It's Kevin having to come back. Is going to go for massive spell warden off the bat. That's where you want to maximize the damage with Light Messiah. The most damage you can do, I would say just go for Crusade, maximize, ramp up, and take that ramp momentum into the next competitor. The stun onto Kevin has a trigger for this one. No more big immunity. Light Messiah still has a bubble he could use at some point though. Maybe he could use it. Lay on hands instead. That might have been maybe a misplay. If Kevin to slam him down before Light Messiah can get Boba back up, then that Lay on Hands was definitely the misplay. If Light Messiah still gets to use Lay on Hands and a bubble later down the line, then that was the right play. Super low. He needs to keep himself alive. Got himself waste, keeping himself barely afloat. Oh, and that's going to be the big slammer by Kevin. That might have been a situation where you just bubble, pop cooldowns into Kevin, and slam him with everything you got. CS is going to be last one left, but a bubble immediately hits him as soon as he walks up next to Kevin. Full cooldowns, but it's getting countered by the blessing of protection as Kevin got himself a stun onto CS, forcing a trick out of the guy really early on though. CS still has a lot of damage, lots of pressure, actually quite a few big hits onto Kevin. The man may just be going down for the count. Is that going to be the execute? The warrior got, oh my God, so much consistent pressure versus a Paladino. Tyr is the last one left over for the team one. He's got to play it super well. He's got to try to find a way to fight through CS. He's got Diabolicals to get through as well as EJ Flex. If he can play it super careful versus CS, he might be alright. For CS though, he's got to get stun on the rogues and then punish him every single time you get a chance. Anytime you get a stun on him, you got to get some damage into the guy. Start forcing defenses out of him. Big stun, CS, not a lot of health available. Doesn't really have much in terms of defense. Blind immediately by the rogue. It is a cooldown. You do want to get those out of the rogue whenever possible. It is going to get a vanish out of the rogue as well. I don't really know if you necessarily needed to go for a vanish, but that piercing howl from the warrior does end up slowing the rogue as he's trying to run behind the tombstone. He doesn't have the mobility to really get behind it. Has to burn a vanish either way though, just to get himself an invis. CS able to recover a lot of health. So every time the rogue goes for an opener, unless he goes and puts some blades on the CS, that's going to be a warrior that's going to be fully healthy every single opener. The reflect up immediately. Wait a second, the reflect might be good against Secret Technique if that's what you do. No, Secret Technique, if anything, that may have been delayed. Eviscerates though, you are reducing some of the damage of Eviscerates because they will do shadow damage if you're attacking an enemy with the Fine Weakness debuff to bypass their armor. This someone to Tyr is going to try to see if he can get himself a restealth, but that Shadow Mode isn't going to do anything. Vanish to follow Cloak of Shadow, starting to move the dots, is able to finally get himself into restealth. But is he in combat? Or is out? Looks like he's out. CS actually picking up the eyes, leaping over to the rogue, stun right after, trying to go for as much damage as possible. He knows the rogue wants to go in for a kidney shot. Did end up coming out. He did come out of the defensive stance into the berserker stance. Evasion though down for the rogue. Live that go, gouge onto the warrior for just a second. Stun. It's gonna be super short. Does Steer have any outs whatsoever? I think he just might be done for the rogue. Cheat death last second, and I think it's just, oh my god, CS. Oh my goodness, he wasn't gonna let this rogue escape his wrath at all. Trill Bills getting those big Reaper executes, as well as CS taking out the rogues at the very end. One rogue? Was it two? A paladin and then a rogue, I think it was the end, wasn't it? Well done, well done. Let's get us another one going, boys, yeah? That's just one-sided? Which one? Hold on, the rogue versus the paladin versus warrior, or the warrior versus rogue? Or the earlier Death Knight duels? Some are going to be like matchups where you're just getting a mismatch, right? A mage versus a hunter. The hunter actually has a bit of advantage. Or like a paladin versus a mage. Mage has a bit of an advantage. Warrior versus an arcane mage too. You know, rogue versus, I don't know, shaman or something like that. Or what's a rogue hard counter to? Death Knight? Probably Death Knight, right? Hey there, what's up, Cloak? How you doing, man? Some matchups are definitely going to be a bit of like a counter class, but yeah, nothing we could really do about it. It just be like that sometimes. Got him into my wow, dude, that was unfortunate though. Blessing of protection, and you just have nowhere to go. That was unfortunate. I honestly thought you were gonna live there. Would you use fear a little bit early? It looked like you did hit a guy with a fear, but I didn't know if you hit him with like ooh, what's someone trying to say? Did you hit him with a fear a little early? Like you were trying to go for a fear as soon as Blessing of Protection fell off? Or was that someone else then? Red Pally versus Unholy, one-sided to red? I will agree with that, yes. Red Pally versus Unholy, I think it's going to be closer leaning towards a Paladin. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a hard counter. Group is a battle net? What? Oh no. Kim boy. Which group was it? Was it the group with Night King or was it the group with Chicago? Who needs more bodies, by the way? Who needs more? We're getting close to that that time where I gotta go play my D&D campaign in Baldur's Gate, but we still got a couple of more games we can get. You're over 100 rounds and I'm still 1300. What? Wait, who are you talking to? Kim boy? Okay, WAP. Relax there, my guy. Let's take it easy, dude. He left hours? What? Oh man. Yeah, Ken, let's just be cool about it, man. You know what I mean? We're here for some fun. We're here for some duels. These are for fun anyway, right? Imagine if we did tournaments on these though. Dude, imagine how much more toxic this would be if we got like actual tournaments in. When you see in rogues, like super stealthy, right? Sit in stealth, wait until every single one of our cooldowns, right? Imagine how much more toxic these Firefight duels could be. This is actually really fun, and that's why I like to keep it more casual. I had people ask me like, yo, would you want to do a tournament with money on the line? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, but like, I feel like the entertainment value of duels would flutter away. And I'd love to, but it's just like, how would you encourage people to like get active and make like risky plays, which is what people in the end want to see. You know what I mean? Damp ruins a lot of the fun and bounce. Dude, that's another thing. I wish I could control the dampening. I don't know how. I've had somebody in chat pop in and say that you can use an add-on to control dampening, but I need to look into it, because if you can, I would like set dampening to a set number and keep it that, right? Dampening maybe starts at a certain number and stays that way. What would you set it to then? We would have to experiment, right? Maybe like a 30% dampener, or like a 20%, or a 40%. No dampening. Zero dampening ever. I feel like there would be some classes that would just live forever. But I wouldn't be against experimenting. I would like to give it a try at some point. Feral next, dude. Next expansion. Orc Feral. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe, Blink. Maybe. What? Oh, Ken boy, you're talking about my boy Chicago, man. When you're talking about my homie Chicago like that, you're not gonna get me on your side. That's my homie, man. That's my homie. Like, you're not gonna pin me against my homie at all, dude. I love me some Chicago, dude. Chicago is a beautiful butterfly. Okay, it's showing, man. 30%. You're talking 30-50% is a lot of DK. Okay. I wouldn't be against trying stuff out, Chilled. Zero dampening would be interesting though. Very interesting. Maybe that would be the play, right? That's why we'd be like encouraged to play aggressively. It's like you actually can heal properly. It's fine. Sorry, man, I'm saying facts. I feel like it's super funny when people are like, you know what? Sorry, bro. I'm just spitting facts. That's usually tell me you're not saying factual information without telling me you're not saying factual information. I don't know. It seems like such a cult phrase, right? When you're saying something and you're just trying to get like feel like a big man. I feel like that's usually what people like resort to. And not saying that against you specifically, but chat in general, like whenever you hear somebody, sorry bro, I'm just spitting facts. I feel like that's like the first thing people jump to when they're just like unsure of themselves. Is it just me? And it's like, maybe you really do mean it, but it's just like, for years, whenever I hear people say that, I'm just like, that's usually, it's usually the opposite, but hey, God bless you, man. I do hope you have a wonderful evening though. I agree, Chicago is a bad man. That's why we love him. Oh, he's a baddie, dude. Chicago is such a baddie. Gotta love it, though. Baddie in a good way, though. Somebody said, like, somebody yesterday on EU was like, somebody called somebody a baddie, and I was like, wait, do you mean baddie, like, as a compliment? Like, somebody's a baddie, but in a good way? Or is it, like, a baddie as in, like, in a bad way? Because nowadays I hear when somebody says somebody's a baddie, that's usually a good thing. You know what I mean? So... That is a badass. Dude, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's just like, over the years, like, the words don't even mean the same thing anymore. Dude! I've never seen the way these things run. Hold on, come back down. You Evoker Lizard, you. Come back down and run around. Do any of you guys have one of these? Look at that run animation. It looks so good. What? It's just like a proper, like, run. Oh, looks so good. And he's got a drill and a gun. Oh my god, what a cool mount. Run around again. Don't fly, run around. I've seen you fly. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, it's running with purpose, dude. He's chugging along. I need that. That's the recruiter friend thing, right? So I'm never getting it, but I would, if that went on the store, man, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. It looks so good. I'd have like 10 minutes of fun and I would just refund it, maybe. This one's more detailed. It is good looking. Don't get me wrong. This one the arms are stiff. The other one is just running, like it's actually like swinging arms. This one looks better. I will say this one's really cool looking. I'm glad they have this as a mount. But like, it's not nearly as animated. If it was like super animated, oh man, I would love it. I would love it. I think it would be great. Alrighty, do we have a 5-man for each, by the way? Chicago, Nike, let me know if you got a 5-man ready to go. If we're good, we're good. If we're not good, we're not good. But let me know, my guy. Let me know, homies. That's a good idea, to be honest. I wonder if it would queue RBG maps with no damp and have ability to spectate. Oh, technically I think I'd be able to, but that'd be weird, man. Give sense a lead, checks chat, 4 or 5. Okay. So we need one of mods for my boy, Chilled. Where's Chilled located in? He is located in Raid's Legacy chat. Raid's Legacy, then you get a +1 for my man Chilled. Raid's Legacy, send him 1. Leading Chill's group or 5, or leading Chicago's group or 5. Okay, cool. Awesome. How you doing, by the way, Sensei? Hope you have a wonderful evening, my guy. Hope you're doing all good. Sensei, do you have any friends that want to join, by the way? I know you had that one boomkin that joined once. I don't know if they're like available, whatever. But Chillpills has a +1 available, a spot available. So if you guys want to join, you're more than welcome to him. Which RBG would you do a prop arena in? Oh, I think Mogo, because you got like that one, like you got that little like square area. It doesn't have line of sight. That's the weird one. It doesn't have line of sight. So I think we would want an arena with some kind of line of sight, because the game is designed to run line of sight to a degree. Oh, that's a good question, actually. What would you duel? Where would you duel? Because I'm not against doing it in like an RBG. It'll be very, very weird to like manage it, but I'm not against it. Cut Mogo does have line of sight. Okay, so you can go up and ramp, but I was thinking like in that little pool thing that you have. Gee, how you doing, man? Like Chicago, watched him up there for a while. I haven't seen one bad thing about him. Seems like a chill dude. Dude, Chicago is a beauty, and they're really, really nice. Chicago's actually been super, super nice for my interactions with them. They're actually really cool. I like Chicago a ton. Oh, come on, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. They really did. They're saying, wait, is that you? Why would you write that, man? Why would you write that? I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. You don't gotta be rude. If you want to just sound like, hey guys, I had fun. I'm gonna do something else. Thank you for games. You could like, if you can express yourself more than one way. You know what I mean? Be like, nah, dog, ain't for me. I'm gonna peace. All good, all good. You know what I mean? Whatever, man. Could Mogo be a knockback? Favorite knockback classes? That's true. But I was thinking could Mogo, like mostly in the pool area when you jump down, would it be a good, not a whole map. This would be an area of a map. Where else would be a good spot to like duel? What if we did, ooh, the new, what's it called? Crap. What's the map name? Is the Pandaria one? It's the new Deepwind Gorge. And maybe go to like the ruins of Deepwind Gorge, because there's a little bit of elevation, there's line of sight, there's big walls. I would do Deepwind Gorge and do the ruins. Or maybe the farm. Go to the farm. Farm doesn't have a lot of line of sight, but the ruins that have walls, that have this area where you can get up top, scaffolding, that would be interesting. It's it'd be kind of cool. The market isn't much. The shrine is another decent spot. There's some line of sight there. There's 2 pillars. But then there's also like a buff that you can use to reset cooldowns. That would be a little silly. But that would be kind of cool. Wait, the buff down the middle for resets? That would be cool if you're trying to do duels 5v1 but you want to honor duel resets. Like whoever wins picks up the buff. But the problem is you could have a rogue stealth over grab it after he does his opener, stealth over grabs it, and if I see it, I can't like kick him out or anything. We can't enforce rules or nothing. That'll be weird. I'm a crybaby stealth anymore. That counts. It's like time. Dude, who does it anymore, man? Honestly, everybody needs a vice, man. Some people turn to alcohol. If you got a teddy bear, that's your vice. Honestly, you're healthier than most of us. Everybody needs a vice. Like stealthing across the map or spot duel. It would have to be like we would go to a specific spot and duel there. Yeah, we would have to be like we have to go to specific spots and stuff like that, man. Man, that's unfortunate actually. Yeah, Makima. I hope you're doing good, my guy. I hope you're alright. Hit me up in Discord if you're feeling down, by the way. That's... Yeah. Didn't realize he was kind of toxic. I didn't realize, man. Apparently he was apparently talking a lot of shit while somebody else was dueling, and that may or may have not have got somebody to just like dip out for the night or dip out of the duel, which is super unfortunate. I don't like seeing that. Just like you go and just like, I don't think I've seen Trill do that, did they? You guys, some of you guys got to play with Trill on the team. I don't think he's ever was like that. I don't think Seawork was like that either. Right? You can just go in and have some fun, right? Just, I don't really understand that. Wait, what do you like this spam? Wait, what do you mean wait? We need one more, by the way. Let me see if I can get somebody else invited. Is my man Steve Ark online? By chance? Ultira map? Is that the one where versus a mage? Television rotation. That's the weird one because it's like he's not gonna look at the chat. He's trying to play the. Yeah, that's a weird one, man. That's a weird one. Let me see who else can I invite while we're at it. I could ask Obliteration. Does he want to join by chance? Is Obliteration fire mage for 5v5s, right? Oblit, maybe? Is that the same guy? Maybe not the same guy. Soul. is doing Runes of Lordaeron now, actually. Eye of the Storm. Okay, I was gonna invite Airless. Hey, Ablit. Hey, Ablit. Want to join for a few for a 5v5 1v1 duel? Who am I getting sapped by? Hello? Oh, Butchery. Hi. Hold on, I'm gonna wave at him. Nice straight kid. But the Menace got in a weird spot right now. Flair almost got him. Need to be a notch to the left, otherwise he would have had him. Usually they're the worst even. So Makima didn't listen to haters. Honestly, definitely don't, man. Definitely don't. Especially like if you're in the middle of the game, man. It's crazy. Wait, we got a spot. Hold on. Kevin. That's quite a bit of gold. Invite. Buddy. I got a buddy. Hold on a second. I got a spot. Hold on, let me get obliteration in here. Yes. List the group. Obliteration, invite. Here we go. Wait. Cool. Now we got a 5-man ready to go. Chicago, hopefully you got a, or Nick rather. Hopefully you still got a 5-man. Because I know Chicago dipped out. Yeah, I feel you though. I feel you, Chicago. Yeah, I feel like that's fine, honestly. Like if it's just like homies taking jabs at each other, but it's just to one another, I'm perfectly cool with that. Okay. Queuing in a bit. Hang tight. I'll start from a hunter. We got spots right now, Malachi, but if we ever need more, we'll definitely get you in. Rep ready? Awesome. What do we do? This is another Nagrand, man. Is there another Nagrand? Nick. King. Nagrand. Let's round double back towards Nagrand, man. Jake, auto attack is awesome, but fun, but then the best for those is the build and BJ's a random one drunk. The auto attack build is Fury. Yeah, I remember that when that was really, really strong. Like in the early alpha too, that thing was nutty. You would just do consistent auto attack damage and just have big hits here and there, but you just sitting somebody the entire time. Last time before I got to cook, sounds good, Bop. Perfectly cool with me, my guy. We'll do this probably as the last one, and then I got my Baldur's Gate 3 party to get to. So we'll be chilling, man. I do want to see Jake hook elbow again once in a while, man. Once in a while. If you ever get yourself full set of gear, I'm sure if you pick up like Destro or something, you'll be able to like do something with it. They get buffed up, man. Warlocks get buffed up. That could be really fun. Might be the time to see the man make a return. You know what I mean? Let the man make his big comeback. Alrighty, switch. We got ourselves Team 1 together with Inuyasha as Assassination Rogue, Kevin Landers on the Pally, Sensei on the... I love the Gladiator mount, by the way. It looks so good. On the Gladiator, Windwalker Monk, Axis Spam on the Fury with Conan in the back as well. Versus Team 2 with Chill Pills leading the charge with full of casters. Diabolicals first off the bat versus the Rogue. We got Sabine in the back with SC as well as Light Messiah. And Dia immediately getting hit with the Garrod. Got himself hopefully the pet in a good spot. Immediate trinket out of Inuyasha. Trying to see if he can maximize the damage into Diabolicals. Is it going to be enough? They're going for the biggest damage out there. And that's going to be a wall as well as Darkness. Oh, Dark Pact. Everything is used right now for Dia. Inuyasha trying to decide whether he goes for Cloak of Shadows. Does go for the cloak. Looking for the reset. Vanish is out as Dia took a lot of big hits. Still bleeding quite a bit. If Inuyasha gets back in there while Death Mark is still on him, maybe gets him. Wait, how'd you find the Rogue? Is he just still a dot on him or something? Or something gets you out of stealth for just a second. Infernal crashing on one side. Doesn't quite connect with Inuyasha. Wants to go in for a full kidney. That's going to be Succubus CC right as the Kinesha comes out. Maybe gets knocked out of a Succubus CC with the Infernal. No, he's shielding the Spore Cloak. Actually, it's going to protect him for keeping him in CC. No cheat death. What happened there? This man got gypped on a cheat death. That's the second time that I've seen for 2 weeks in a row that a row goes in, does stuff. Cheat death just doesn't proc. It goes on cooldown. It just doesn't happen. I gotta get an explanation from a dev, man. Why does that happen? Gonna be a Mortical immediately inject spam. I was just trying to see if he can ramp up some damage to Dia as Dia dropping down to Bonzafell. Doesn't quite connect with the Axis spam. This is gonna send out even more portals, but Diabolical's taking quite a bit of damage. Gonna be Reflect. Does actually trying to go for a cast on Dia. Back-to-back cast modes off the what is it? What's it called? The cast immunity, the interrupt immunity. premeditation. Succubus CC last second. Emily to follow. Does Daya have the big damage right now? Has a portal 1, portal 2 available. X spam taking lots of hits. Actually looks like lost quite a bit of health, but is able to go for at least one impending victory. Defensive stance, fear on the bed, as well as the warlock. Trying to see if he can back up out of the reflect right after, but it looks like Dotson just got him down either way. The man realized he's still dotted, hoping to maybe get himself a bit of healing. Mortal Coil sent in and actually reflected right back at Conan, and that's going to be Succubus CC together with a Mortal Coil at the same time. Conan is going to burn a trinket to get himself out of the CC. That was rough, man. That's a lot of damage. The warrior left out, got him to reflect, but at that point, you're just going to hope and maybe that dot that I have on me, maybe the damage will get reduced just enough for me to survive it. Get myself second win. As the charge comes out, Conan does get slingshotted right back to the succubus. It's going to be Bonzafell. Do you break it? Do you stay? Just having to break it. Having to stay on top of the succubus. The more bloodthirst you can get off of the succubus, the better. Charging out Daya as he just get himself cast back to back. Interrupt by Conan, but doesn't quite connect. It is going to be premeditation? Is it pre-med? No, it's not pre-med. It is the... I don't remember what the cast mechanic is. Where you try to get interrupted, but you're getting juked out. Mortal Coil. Daya with a Chaos Bolt. Conan takes a pretty big hit, but not the biggest. That Chaos Bolt still keeps the counter as hell. Saved you, but oh, the Incinerate though. That Incinerate just ends up flaring up out of nowhere. Just kind of scrolls along the ground. Honestly, I felt like that Incinerate hit harder than a Chaos Bolt just now. Is it just me? Immediate board for Diabolicals as soon as he sees the monk zoom over there. Try to keep his distance. Sensei needs to find a way to break past the first front line of the team 2. The warlock is going to be the first one down. Wall immediately as soon as he takes a big hit. Could go for dark pack. Is going to go for dark pack. Portals are up. Sensei's going to have to deal with the damage. Might just have to go for a karma to reverse a lot of those hits. Back to Diabolicals. Could be a karma situation, but does get back away. Sensei has to break it. Needs to go for a little bit of healing. Got himself a little bit of recovery, but he's going to be able to back away for just a moment. Daya, not in a great spot. Needs to go for some healing. Could drop down an Infernal. Mortal Coil into Sensei. Still has a trinket. There goes the sun. Could trinket out of this one. Daya trying to see if he can get himself some distance. He's going to be second. As you see, fast cast of the... Probably one of the fastest casts I've seen of that soul burn into Chaos Bolt right after. It is going to be karma, but I think it's going to be karma on the succubus. Yes, it is actually going to karma the succubus since it needed to use the defensive either way. Trying to see if he can maybe get himself an interrupt on Daya, but trying to be very careful not to get juked out. Portal 1, Portal 2, Daya get himself a shield. Succubus CC does get himself a trinket. This one Daya needs some kind of CC, something, anything. Maybe, I think Sensei might just get him knocked down. It's going to go for the black kick at the end of that leg sweep. Well done, well done. Barely surviving it, but does end up doing pretty well. Chill Pills with the Frosty DK this time. Chain of Ice in cap onto Death Knight, but it's gonna get frozen solid. The in cap standing strong though. Big stun onto Sensei, trying to see if he can back up out of it. The Dragon Kick lets him reposition away from the DK. Chill Pills is gonna have to use plenty of grips and gonna have to have good line of sight to disrupt a lot of the rolls for Sensei. If Sensei is careful, maybe he can buy himself a little bit of time, get himself a little bit of healing. Fist of Fury around the corner. Chilpos does grip him in Portal, but puts him way out in the open still. Chilpos could still end up later on with Sensei. Maybe can teleport back. That's exactly what he's going for. Board out. Board in, definitely gonna have to reset up a board and use his rolls as well as Dragon Kicks very, very carefully. In capital it shows, does he have himself a go? Leg sweep is available with images, could maybe combine together with the Thunder Strikes, but maybe not. That's gonna be a full versus winter for Chill Plus. Maybe he can get himself a bigger blitz. It's gonna end up freezing Sensei, looking to crack through his defenses. Big hits, slashing the guy right through. Karma really, really early. Chill Plus with an AMS, wants to see if he can maybe let the Karma feed into AMS, but Zuenjo and then you want to be extra careful, trying to see if he can root down Sensei with those Chain of Ice, and is able to keep him at bay for a good bit, but really, really wants to turn around and maybe get some big hits on this, onto Sensei whenever next stun is available. Has himself full cooldowns, wants to see if he can get us a blitz back to back. If he can just keep a Chain of Ice onto Sensei at all times, he'll be golden. Not a lot of health available for Chill Plus. Having to go for Legendborn to give himself a little bit more healing. Is it going to be enough though? Does he have the execute onto Sensei? Got himself the dampen harm as well. And at this point, Sensei got nothing left. He's waiting until Diffuse Magic is back up, waiting until the Karma's back up, until his Forward Brew is back up. Chipples is out in the middle, got AMS as well as a Death Pack. Next stun could be huge for him. Trying to get a stun on the Sensei. Lexip is going to be falling off in a second here. Chipples does have to go for a Death Pack though. Very, very defensive. Blind to follow onto Sensei. Unless he's got some kind of big damage to follow up. That is going to be Diffuse Magic that just gone in. Kept to stop him. Messi wants to go in for a bigger blitz, but doesn't really get to connect. Sensei able to bail out of there as fast as humanly possible. Stun. onto the monk. Just shield pills. Got himself big damage, but it's gonna get capped out either way though. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Gonna be the warrior next with SC. Charging out towards Sensei with a stun right up. Not stun? Not yet, at least. Or if he did stun, it looked like a stun went out. But it might have been just DR though. Honestly, Frostic is actually a joke. Dude, Frostic that is a little bit hard to get into, man. Like, just in duels specifically, it's rough. It's just rough. You have to be in melee the entire time. You don't have that range. You don't have that damage over time nearly or anything. It's just the sustain up there. And this is mobility is also tough. Karma by Sensei trying to see if he can turn some damage around onto SC. But SC is just not deterred at all. There goes the Stormbolt, but he just doesn't have the line of sight. Stormbolt charge would have been so good. Trying to see if he can catch up to Sensei. Does he have a leap? I don't think the man's got a leap. Yes, he does. Never mind. Ring of Peace is going to stop him in place, though. That is super unfortunate. Man, unless you were like a Death Knight, you could somehow, you know, use Death's Advance in order to immune any kind of knockbacks or anything, then he might just be okay. 75k Blitz hit harder than Motorcycle Pog. But the Blitz can do quite a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. But man, didn't reduce healing by 25 to 80% though. Ooh, that would actually also help out a ton, wouldn't it? Or let's help out a little bit. Gonna be a stun on Sensei, seeing a bit of a defensive stance, trying to see if he could deal with the monk. The Zuen is out in play. Sensei has some cooldowns ready to go. Disarm, but not really deterred. He can't use Fist of Fury, but every other ability he can still use it just fine. Blackout kicks, Rising Sun, gonna be a leap out of the Fist of Fury. SC trying to see if he can back up out of this one. Gonna go for the Gnomish Ritual to break out of a root, but man is just in a lot of trouble, and the monk is gonna go in for spinning crane kick and jab, so you can just kind of Beyblade his way over to him. Light Messiah, second to last one left over in Team 2. After the entire team was absolutely getting slammed down by a Warlock, Sensei is trying to claw it back for his team little by little, jab by jab, blackout kick for blackout kick. And Light Messiah got himself the 1 minute wings bubble really early. But Sensei is able to get quite a bit of distance. Every single one of the hammers kind of hurts actually for Sensei right now. You better be careful. It's going to be immediate karma while the forbearance is up. He knows the Light Messiah can't immune this damage. Is going to have to force out a blind on him pretty early. Searing Glare is going to make it harder for Sensei to really get any kind of damage to land onto Light Messiah. But it's just going to use the mobility to back up, get himself as much healing as possible, trying to maintain himself in between of fighting somebody. He's always just focusing on healing. He uses instant cast heals. He's standing there with a soothing mist, trying to do whatever he can just to get himself the most amount of recovery possible. Battle Master Trinket is up for Sensei. He's waiting for some big cooldowns to come back up. He has himself Human Rage to break out of Sun, and that's the only thing he has defensively. But I need to use the Trinket right then and there, unless Light Messiah just doesn't have the damage. Does not look like he does, but still big hammers flying either way though. Sensei does get to port out. Maybe could use the second port in order to reposition, trying to keep himself afloat his best as possible second port, unless Light Messiah has a way to reconnect. It might be a little bit rough. Karma coming back up at 30 seconds, but really Sensei doesn't have anything for 30 seconds. Only a normal Trinket. Light Messiah is in a good spot. The only thing he can't really do is reconnect with Sensei, since he can zoom across the map within seconds. For Light Messiah, I think mounting up and then chasing after the monk may be a better choice. Zuen joins in. Maybe Sensei wants to go counter-offensive. Zuen is definitely causing Light Messiah to back up a little bit. Doesn't really want to stay in there. Sensei wants to go in for some damage. He got images, he got leg sweep, he's got everything. Light does have a Blessing of Protection, so he could be in a great spot right now. It's going to be a leg sweep, images available, Blessing of Protection, hoping to get the hell out of dodge, into a Ring of Peace to boop Light Messiah out of the way. Got himself a bit of that soothing miss as well. Stun around the corner, has a Trinket for this one. Does he use it? I don't think the final reconnected properly, but Sensei might be in a lot of trouble. Karma last second, I think that's what he was trying to hope for. He was trying to limit Karma. Shield of Vengeance could be a lot of defense, could be a lot of survivability for Light Messiah. Still taking a lot of that Karma damage back to back. But the wings and the shielding is still fine. Shielding with the Spore Cloak for Sensei might just go down either way though. One more hammer is all Light Messiah needs. Does he have the mobility? The man is charging towards victory as best as possible. In cap, oh my god, the big hit onto Sensei. If he didn't have dampen harm, that might have been game over, but he barely survived it. Light just needs to get himself one more stun. Sensei has a Trinket. Good thing he saved that Trinket until later. Stun right there. May just not even to use it. Seeing the Paladin round the bend is going to use it. Still lots of big hits by the Paladin the way Sensei uses the Dragon Kicks. If anything, this monk has exceptionally strong mobility, and he's definitely trying to play it up in order to give himself a little bit more time on cooldowns, but he's got nothing left defensively. Offensively, he's got leg sweep. Light Messiah, unless you don't have anything right now. Lexia, very defensive mostly. Light Messiah, Sunset trying to see if he can make some damage happen. Big kicks to follow Light Messiah. Maybe damage back. Oh, turns it around with the Paladin. That's got to be a stun by Sabia. Hoping to maybe end the monk right then and there. Siphon joins in. As a monk though, you usually have a pretty big advantage over priest. The mobility of a priest is very limited, but unless Sabia can get himself good line inside of him, maybe mount up something, anything, you could get yourself a big go either way. There is an opportunity here. We've seen monks fall to Shadow Priest before, but it's going to be interesting either way. This is going to be a Sabia swinging around, Ring of Peace. Yeah, not going to happen. I think Sensei's just going to use this time, since he can't really reach him, to get as much healing as humanly possible. Incap with the Sabia. It's going to be Shadow Fiend join, and that's actually going to do quite a bit of damage this late into dampening. 66% dampener. Sensei getting hit with a full fear. Sabia finally able to get full dots on him, as well as Zuen. Might not even be that bad of an idea. Trying to go for big eruptions. Maybe this will be enough. Mind games to follow. That is going to be a Karma. Can at least maybe dispel some of the damage of the Karma, but not the Karma itself. Unless you go to Disperse right now, you might just need some big damage by the monk. Looking for big Whirling Dragon Punch. Maybe he can fight through the Disperse. The way the Sabia isn't no help whatsoever. Unless he got summoned anything, gonna be a diffused magic, but taking away the dots and put himself in a horror for Sensei. But a Black Cat kick does that up, helping him bring it back for his Simi. The way the 5-0 for Sensei. My goodness, man. I can see why a lot of you guys are swapping over to Windwalker, by the way. The mobility. Decent survivability, lots of cooldowns. You don't have a full immunity, but damn, pretty strong. And the damage, I mean, it's good. It's pretty good. Alrighty, boys, are we done? Are we done for the night? Is this it, boys? Are we done, Ski? Because I think I might, I think Baldur's Gate maybe calling me. 69% damage. Did it really come down to that low? Nice. Nice. I'll need to look back at it. That's hilarious, though. My god, it's intense duel. With the monk, dude, I mean, he's just not gonna let people catch him at all. It's crazy. It's crazy good mobility. Also another class that I could see also do a switcheroo, right? How hunters have to use traps and otherwise they just die. What I think gave monks a bit more survivability, but kind of limited the mobility a little bit. You know, like sturdiness, not really healing, but just sturdiness, right? You could stay in the duel for a lot longer without having to back up. Let's go Baldur's Gate, dude. Baldur's Gate, boys. Unholy beats it easy, dies to LOS. True, actually. Unholy can beat a monk. Definitely can do it. Unholy beats a monk, I think. I think Unholy can. I remember Chilpos was just like playing on the back foot with no cooldowns versus WAP, because he was on the caster meta. And you were doing some crazy good damage just walking away from the guy with Chain of Ice. You had no cooldowns and you were still doing some damage. I think Unholy Death Knight can do pretty well. In conscience, I feel like swapping specs is nuts. Dude, compared to Frost, yeah. Compared to Frost. Did someone say Baldur's Gate 3? Dude, exactly, man, exactly. We have a campaign where I'm playing as a throw Barian. My spec is, I throw stuff. Right now, Spear seems to be a really good one. I have a Spear that returns back to me when I throw it. But I'm thinking I need to get some bludgeoning weapons. I need to get some piercing weapons. Maybe something slashing that I can throw. I need to start throwing like something heavy as throw Barian. But so far, it's doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage for like and I can do 2 throws in a row. So I can do 1 throw, second, and I just drops people. I drown enemies, death or alive. Drown them or drown them, dude. Just tossing them. Hell yeah, dude. That's also fun. I'm doing that too. Like tossing bodies around, tossing people around. That's fun. I was doing that a little bit on my main playthrough. By the way, recently beat the game. Mind blown, man. I recently beat the game on my main character playthrough. Mind blown. I got the ending that I wanted to. I'm super satisfied with my ending. But I want to see more versions. I want to see more versions. My god, dude. Ooh. Without spoiling anything, at the very end, I was like, man, 54% downloaded, you getting it? I was having trust issues, right, with some of the companions. I'm not gonna say who, but some of the companions I was having some trust issues by the end of it. But man, dude, oh man. By the way, the fight, the Gortash thing and the Oren thing. If you played the game, you'll know what I mean. If you got that far, wasn't as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. The thing before Oren was more difficult. You know what I mean. What, already? I'm gonna take the once. Dude, take your time. Take it slow and steady. Enjoy it. It's a lot. You could literally spend 60 hours in just Act 1. There's so much to do. 60 hours in just Act 1. A lot of people have reported like 40 hours at the very least. At the least. You can blaze through it, but there's a lot to do in Act 1. Plenty to do in Act 2. And Act 3 is also just as, probably the biggest, honestly. Probably the biggest. Should I use the talent powers? So that's a choice. Personal choice. It is going to have story elements by the end of it. Whether it's good story elements or bad story elements, that's really up to you. Tadpole powers are given and you could use them. I feel like I played a playthrough where I used none of them at all. I didn't do another Tadpole because I didn't know what was going to be the ending of it. But I'm also doing another playthrough where I am using it. The powers are useful. I will say this. I'm not going to say how it affects the choice by the end of the game, but the powers are actually kind of useful when it comes to combat and encounters and stuff. They do make the game, I think, easier. But the tadpoles come with consequences. What are those consequences? You have to make the choice. Added, yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, sounds good, like Messiah, for sure. What's your reality? Hold on. What's your reality? Yeah, what's your real idea? Let me get you added really quickly. Also, that gate is not looking all that. Am I gonna die for walkthrough? This is where the alliance is at? No, actually, we're chilling. Oh, mine. Oh, so you just okay? Let me see if I can add you real quick. Cause you added me and you regular too. Yeah, let me get you in, man. Dark Messiah. Light. I like his name. Is Dark Messiah, Light Messiah. I like that, man. Let me do this. Light. Put a smiley face just so I know it's a homie. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Alrighty, hell yeah. I'm a DK? Hell yeah, that's a nice name, man. I like it. I like the combo. Chat, we got a call for the night. I got some Baldur's Gating to do. Thank you all so much for coming by. I gotta get myself just a little bit of food. Maybe I'll eat while I'm in the game because it's just like it's a slow-paced game, so it's not that bad, honestly. I won't reveal anything. I did one that went full tadpole. Won't reveal anything. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Conan Magic, not my liking. That's why I don't do the tadpoles. There is definitely like there's gonna be consequences with the story. That's about all I can say. But when I say consequences, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing or a good thing. There is definitely a lot of like shades to it, right? All depends how you look at it. It really all depends. But it's interesting, and I think that's like one thing that they want to emphasize in the game. Using tadpoles can expand your abilities, but it has narrative consequences. That's it. And I think keeping it like that without telling people exactly how the mechanics work and what to expect and if it's bad or it's good or whatever, I think is the best way that the devs could have done it. Just let players explore themselves. Opinion on Ultimate Shaman in Mythic Plus. I think they need more representation. I would love to see more Ultimate Shamans in Mythic Plus pen. I like them a lot. I think they're really fun. Whenever I play my Shaman, they're a joy. They just don't like... They're not quite mages though, or Shadow Praise. I would love them to be like mages or Shadow Praise though, you know what I mean? They're really fun. They're enjoyable, especially if you go big AoE. It opens certain dialogues and closes others. That is true. That is very, very true. When I got to the Foundry area, yeah, that's very, very true. If I say StarCraft people, that'll ruin it for everyone. If I say StarCraft people, I guess it depends how you look at it. Yeah, it depends. Yeah. Next run all the classes, dude. Definitely, yeah, definitely. I'm doing a new playthrough, solo playthrough of the Dark Urge, where you have like these urges of violence and stuff. Oh, already my character has made some choices that I'm like questionable, but it puts you in some situations though. Off the bat, it's kind of interesting, man. Your responses are also very different. I'm trying to do I was gonna do either a Necromancer or a Sorcerer, and I decided I'm gonna do Sorcerer for Wild Magic. I just did like a random pick for me. Just let it do one of the caster classes, Warlock, Wizard, or Sorcerer. It rolled a Sorcerer. So I was like, all right. And I was like, Wild Magic would be fun. But I wasn't sure. I was playing. I was mulling it over. Wild Magic, like, random things can happen whenever you use your sorcery powers, right? Because sorcerers are supposed to be like wizard, someone who learns about magic and through experiments and a bit of modern science can adapt them to use the spells themselves. They're more of like, they learn about it. They don't inherit it. Sorcerers are naturally born with magic in their blood, basically. And they have different types, either thunderous sorcery or draconic mastery or wild magic, and just chaos of it. And I chose wild magic, where whenever you use your ability, sometimes random effects happen. And I was using this thing where I threw 2 lightning balls of lightning at 2 enemies, and I got polymorphed into a sheep. I knew at that point I'm gonna have some fun with this one. Random magic, I literally just randomly polymorphed myself. I knew from that point I'm gonna have fun with this. This would be exciting. I'm gonna do it, dude. Okay, so one of them was like, my spells will also heal whoever I use abilities on. So if I attack somebody, it could also heal them as well. Alright, so now I need to have more of a healing spell. But now my healing spell is a lot more effective, so if I have a scroll with like a healer above, hey, I can now be kind of a healer. I just got healing hands now. So I can't really attack enemies. I should probably heal my allies. I should probably buff them or something, anything. Really. So, yeah. So that was one. Another one was my abilities will target a random enemy or an ally. And I can just send like a big fireball and like just a random fireball will split off of it and hit another guy. Firebolt, not a fireball. I'm not there yet, but there's some interesting stuff that can happen. Very interesting stuff. And sometimes you can just get buffs, like I was casting a spell and I could just talk to animals for a day. Cool. It is interesting, man, but I really do want to see more of it. Thank you all so much for coming by, chat. Appreciate you. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope all of you enjoyed the 5V5 1v1 Duels, boys. We're going to be doing more of these next week. Tomorrow, though, I'm pretty sure it's just a day off for me. I'm pretty sure I'm just chilling. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. My sleep schedule has been all kinds of weird, and I want to see if I can do a little bit of fixing in that department. But yo, thank you guys so much. It's like a clumsy mage. Yeah, it's like a broken wand, but there are a lot of things, and there's some story stuff you can do, and the advantage of it. So with a wild magic, you can do all the wild things, right? Sometimes you'll be getting hit by an attack, and now you can roll 2 dice to see if you can save it instead of 1. You're talking to a person and you want to do a dialogue check that you're not proficient in. Wild magic just lets you do 2 dice. So now you have 2 chances to get a good roll. It's wild. Like, everything about it is wild. I could just be going into a situation that I'm not sure about, and wild magic just gives me a leg up. It's wild. It has benefits and it has negatives. It can do a lot of things, but it just kind of like, yeah, it could just kind of, it has a mind of its own, basically. It's so good. Alright, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you all Monday, I think, for alt stuff, and then Tuesday for the boxes. And hopefully we'll get some 10-2 stuff and maybe PTR stuff sometime soon. Yeah, thank you all. You guys are wonderful. Big class changes, by the way. Tuesday, be prepped. Mostly PvP changes, but quite a bit of PvE changes as well. So get some alts, man. Get some warriors some love. Get some rogues some love, man. That'll be the perfect time to do it now, yeah? Thank you all. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see all of you in the next stream. Alrighty, boys. Alrighty, peace.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done.